Engage. On screen. On screen.
What the hell is going on?
Engage. I want all the power you can give me.
I'm not sure I have a specific recommendation.
Not good enough, damn it! Not good enough!
Any idea of what it is or where it came from?
I'm not sure I have a specific recommendation.
This is no longer amusing.
They seem normal enough.
I shouldn't be so confident.
Make it so. I would rather outthink them than outfight them.
Engage. On screen. Let's investigate. Enlarge and identify.
I shouldn't be so confident.
Engage!
I'm not sure I have a specific recommendation.
I want all the power you can give me.
Strange.
Slow to impulse speed.
Stay calm, everyone.
What the hell is going on? I'm not sure I have a specific recommendation.
Stay calm, everyone.
Let's investigate. This is no longer amusing. Macro head.
Stay calm, everyone.
Slow to impulse speed.
I would rather outthink them than outfight them.
Engage!
Slow to impulse speed.
Strange.
Slow to impulse speed.
Not good enough, damn it! Not good enough!
They seem normal enough.
I'm not sure I have a specific recommendation.
I'm Captain Picard. Engage! Move to intercept. How about all the power you can give me?
Hey, my name's Rachel Antral. I play Commander Non on Star Trek Discovery. Welcome to Timeline Talks.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live in Technicolor from the beautiful Hollywood Hills, California. The show where the total retail price of their advice is $0. This is Timeline Talks. Featuring guest stars, a close personal friend of Rachel Antral, Walt Koenig. Also featuring, check out my Dyson sphere, Mr. Big McLarge Shoe. More like Command If Suck, look out, it's a Peloton 2000. And now, bringing the bands, drinking beer that's 2 pants. Here's your host, Captain Idol.
Yes, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Timelines Talks. I am Captain Idol. I am joined here by Automaton 2000, Big McLarge Huge, and a very special guest this week in the corner. There is very own Cab's Walt Koenig. Not the Walt Koenig everyone was expecting, but the one we have. Welcome, Walt, to the stream. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Pleasure to be here.
Taking shots at me.
Long-time listener.
I know, sorry.
First-time caller.
Yeah,
well, I mean, just before we get too far into it, I just suggest that everybody that's watching the stream maybe turn the brightness on the monitors down just a little bit, because just the sheer wattage emanating from the heads of the hosts and guests is just, well, we're all bald, Idol. Every last one of us is a bald human, a bald white human that
beautiful,
is emitting at least.
This is what this stream should be called. Beautiful, brilliant, yes. Bald men talks.
They measure our foreheads in watts.
Yes, welcome to Timelines Talks. I promise we're going to keep on topic at some point tonight. First of all, Walt, I have to say a big thank you to you for providing us with that Rachel cameo video, which you very kindly got us out of the bottom of your heart. That is absolutely fantastic addition to our show, and I love it every time I see it.
Yeah, well, like you said at the time, it was a strange thought I had. I thought, wonder who's on cameo from Star Trek. Let's see what I can find.
Red alarm! Red alarm! Red alarm!
Thank you. The line must be drawn here.
You know, Walt is being real humble, but he called her up and said, "Hey, Rach, I need a favor." And she said, "Sure, Walt, anything for you, baby." So. That's why she's on. That's why she leads us in every week.
Every week. No, that's great. We're very grateful for that. So, well, please tell us a little bit about yourself and your fleet you're in, your gameplay, how long you've been playing, and sort of how long have you been with the game and with Timelines?
I'm quite a long time player, really. I've been on sort of 6 years nearly. Wow. May 2016, I joined. Sort of took it up very sort of casually, and I was very much a casual player until COVID all happened and lockdown, and so then I sort of took a bit more of an interest in the game, and then when Crew Retrieval came out last year, January, whatever it was, I was like, I need to understand how this thing works. It's a new thing. I thought I was going to make a mess of it, and so I did a bit of searching, and I found some YouTube streams, some Timelines talks. And I watched the video with Ben sort of going through it all, and and then ever since then I've been with you guys since then, really. And then as part of all the changes, I decided to change fleets earlier last year, and so I've joined Korea and Bith.
Oh, you can pronounce it.
Forever.
Wow. The Welsh.
I've got no Welsh ancestry, but yeah. But yeah, we're a sort of a friendly little fleet, not too competitive, or you see us occasionally, some of our members in the rankings, but we're quite sort of semi-casual, semi-serious. So we're friends, I think.
I would just like to say on behalf of the show, we're very humbled to be part of your villain origin story. How you went from a part-time casual to completely sucked into the game's tendrils. So.
And now you're here with the rest of us.
Yeah, my bank account is testament to how serious I take the game. So, like many of us.
It's funny, we started basically at the same time back in 2016. I wasn't aware of that, so apologies. I'm so sorry. Anyway, let's talk about the game, huh?
Let's. Yeah, I think definitely, competitive. I've definitely shouted out your name a couple of times on the stream in the event winners, but congratulations to SSR's very own Maelstrom for getting number one in the event. It was smooth, wasn't it? Just there's no interruptions, nothing to.
You're like, I'm not going to count on these schlubs to provide me with one. I'm going to do my own from now on.
This week, I'm on it this week. I'm professionalism incarnate. Congratulations to Maelstrom for getting the 5/5 Ogawa and winning the event. Other notable names in the top 50 ranks: I am Kirok, number 4. Congratulations to Trey Olfi at number 6. I know he was particularly gunning for a top rank this week, so congratulations to them. BigBook.app at number 9. I think it's a link everyone needs to visit. I think we know who that was. Abagir at number 16. Glisse at 17. Nolian 20. There's quite a lot of names on here. A lot of people really wanted Ogawa. And my favourite name in the whole game. And Asus TF300T at number 26. Leggett Bry number 29. Twitch.tv/TimelinesTalks at 30.
Hey!
Who the hell is that?
Oh, God knows. Some guy that really likes us. I don't know.
Nobody.
Yeah, just some it's just some guy, Stella Ice at number 38. Blue Angel, who is now the number 1 12-hour voyage record holder at number 40. AJ Warp 941. Ishmael Marks at number 48. So congratulations, but drawing claps all round to everyone in that top 50. It was a harrowing event in those top ranks. I pooped myself several times looking at that top rank, 30 rank, just going, no, please, I put so many super rares here. Let me get 30. Scraped it in.
So, 2 shout-outs from me. One for Ran Aaron, who provided the title for this week's Timeline Talks. We can't believe we lasted 6 years either. We'll have our little wine and cheese segment later on. And a shout out to, I told him we would, how can I put this diplomatically, bolster his confidence on the stream. No Name Namer, who, in addition to ranking top 10, was pushing out bug fixes and working on new features for the big book all weekend. So every time he posted like 3 different change logs over the weekend. I'm like, dude, shouldn't you be like eventing or something? So yeah, good on him.
He was definitely sort of pushing things. I think we'll have our big book update section at some point as well. All the new things and sort of things that have been changing. Because I've noticed in the Discord as well. You, Namer, and the community have been sort of having sort of back and forth discussions, and it's not just sort of a one way. This is how it works. I think you guys have been taking a lot of input on from how people have been using it, sort of in the field.
The people love the event rankings, like, because Namer's been trawling through the Google Analytics to see who's visiting what pages and see where the interest lies, and people love checking their event rankings. So I'm like, oh, I thought this was going to be a crew resource. No, we're just going to check our event ranks each week. So, Walt, you were talking to me earlier this week. You said you wanted to talk a little bit about the big book and levy some heavy criticism our way, something like that. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah. I just said, I was happy to give you sort of some honest thoughts. I think there's quite a bit of love for the big book out there. So a few people are trying to sort of understand some of the metrics and stuff. I can see some of that going on, which always seems to be the way. But yeah, I mean, I'm loving the gauntlet information. That's really helpful.
That's so good.
And the crew text that you're putting up is just beyond good. It's probably one of the highlights for me. I mean, to be fair, I'm saying too big-headed. I think a lot of us can see like I can tell what a good crew is and what's a blooming Will Cartwright, and you know, so it's they don't really, you're not massively looking for sort of big help on the crew advice, but some obviously that is a big benefit as well. But so the other stuff is really helpful.
Well, I mean, we've had versions of the big book obviously for years now, and we added more information over time, you know, stat ranks and stuff like that. But as you say, what always drew me to the big book, even before I was ever a contributor to it, was just the quality of the writing and the write-ups, and it was just genuinely entertaining to read. So I'm glad that that's still, you know, right up front in the new version of the book, even with all these other improvements. So that very little has changed on that front.
Okay, let's talk about something else now, because I'm blushing.
He started blushing.
Yeah. Otherwise, Otto's head's just going to float right out of frame.
Yeah, there's only so much frame in the Discord window for it to get in there. Yeah. Okay, let's.
All right,
spin
these
the wheel.
guys are gonna take digs at me for the size of my head. All right, whatever, bro.
Right,
one size fit all hats don't fit my head.
Step right up.
Step right up.
Yeah.
Let's spin the wheel, ladies and gentlemen, for everyone that submitted show titles this week. Thank you, everyone. We've changed the rules ever so slightly to encourage people getting new subs. So anyone that currently has a sub, you can still submit a show title. You just won't be put on the wheel. This is just sort of give people a fair chance, like Walt here, who doesn't have a sub, to potentially win one and sort of, you know, just increase the sub base. So let us spin the wheel, and here we go. Congratulations, Darbo Agent Daniels, for winning this week's sub. We will sort you out either very shortly or after the show, depending on who's buying it. So congratulations to you. And another congratulations is very much needed, because on January the 16th, 2021, the very first inaugural 12-hour voyage was, thank you, Janos, was conducted by Roykirk himself. So we have hereby dubbed January the 16th as Roykirk Day. So happy Roykirk Day, everybody. It's been a whole year since we had a 12-hour voyage. Excuse me, let me just get my replacement glasses.
Yep. So it's Smudge, and now it's Roykirk. That's the hierarchy. Yeah.
Was that you buying the gift subscription, was it?
Evidently.
So 1 year since the first 12-hour voyage. And you know what? The metrics have been quite insane. We've had over 120 12-hour voyages since. There was I went back a couple of days ago and finally went back and dated all of them, and you can definitely see the escalation to where there was, you know, Roykirk's. There was an early one by Cole.
You took him out on dinner or what?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Definitely went to Nando's.
Yeah. Cheeky Nando's. But yeah, there was definitely a rate where, you know, May there was nothing, June there was nothing, and then all of a sudden, funnily enough, when there was a few collections hit, we start getting lots more 12-hour voyages. But definitely setting the curve. Everyone put it in your diaries every year. January 16th, Roykirk Day.
Hey, King Louis, it's always good to see you in chat. He says they had a 12-hour voyage in VIP 0 this morning, so it seems like everyone's got bitten by the voyage bug.
That's good. Fantastic. Fantastic work, VIP 0.
That's a whole nother level.
Definitely. Right, shall we have our wine and cheese moment? I don't have any cheese. Well, I do upstairs, but I'm not going to get it for this. But we'll definitely have a smaller wine. The objective event, something a few of us have mixed opinions on, was very much late this week, which I know some people are quite keen on the objective events because of the bonuses. So having it, I believe it was about half a day out, wasn't it? It was probably about 10 hours. It was late yesterday by the time it finally went live.
Yeah, so that goes
10,
live.
11 hours.
Something like that.
That goes live at like, what, 1 in the morning on the East Coast or something? So...
No, it was much later than that. It was...
no, I mean, it normally would have with the reset and everything.
Oh, it would have been midnight Eastern time.
Yeah, okay, so... they were all asleep tucked in their booties and snugglies, and I think it was, what, like 9 hours later that someone finally got to work and said, oh, yeah, we didn't start that.
Because I believe it was a holiday day as well. It was not Labor Day, was it? Or in America?
Oh,
MLK?
Day.
Yeah, MLK Day.
That's the
Martin
one,
Luther
yes. So yeah, you definitely had. Chances are there was no one in the server room to go, oh whoops, this button that was off should be on, which is kind of what it felt like. But Walt, tell us. We've not really heard from you. What are your opinions on the objective events? Is it something you're keen on, or is it something you're more indifferent to?
Yeah, I'm keen on them in principle very much. I'd like, I think the sort of general idea was good. Something else to sort of keep us going during the week. Yeah, it's just the rewards aren't generally worth the sort of effort and the way we're having to change how we play. I mean, I was in chat the other day, and there's a few of us, I think, in the thing where you save your purples from the event from the weekend to sort of fuse them and immortalize them to get the achievements. So it's a little bit annoying in some ways, and I know Auto isn't a fan. So.
Hey, can you give us your answer through interpretive dance, please?
I can do mime, maybe.
Are you trapped in a box? A box of chronotons?
I think they've got.
Go ahead. You're the guest. You speak.
Oh, sorry, I was going to say I think they've got potential to be good. As we discussed some the other week, if we get some different rewards, maybe some different ways of working stuff, then potential.
I like both Kazoo and Cold in chat. Like, if it's free, it's for me. That's how they're looking at it.
Smug.
Well, but time and effort is a currency too. It's not just about getting stuff without any in-game currency. It's like he says, it's changing the way you play. It's like, for me, it amounts to saving a purple I don't want and either fusing it up and leveling it up to get the immortalization objective, or airlocking it, which I was going to do anyway. I don't know. It's just it's cheesy, and it's a lot for 5-star time boosts and a shuttle token or whatever.
Yeah, I like the monthly ones are obviously a better reward, so I think they're a bit better. Obviously, I think most of us I think a few of us are knocking those out fairly easily without too much trouble. But
I actually finished that month-long one yesterday.
Wow!
And it's still like 2 weeks to spare, but people are like getting them done in like day 2, day 3, and then there's nothing to do the rest of the week. I just took my sweet time. I only do the 20 battles a day, for the dailies anyways, and save my chronotons for events and stuff. So
I think
I was happy to cruise right through the few weeks that it took.
I think it's the sort of, thank you, Lauren, first time chatter in the chat. Fuse a purple, immortalize a cheap grey. I think the fusing is one thing. I could sort of go without a few crew slots for a few days. It's the immortalizing one that rubs me a little bit the wrong way, because okay, you can just get a grey, and I'm like, well, I don't want to waste the crons or faction items, because some of them do need faction items and they're precious, or I have to then fuse the existing purples.
They're what?
Faction items?
No. They are what?
What did I say? I forget.
You said precious, and then you slip into your Smeagol.
Oh no, I can't pull that out on the fly. That takes a bit.
Come on,
precious.
Got to do my vocal warm-ups, darling.
Dude, we almost got sued by Warner Brother. At least give us a little bit of.
Maybe I'm going to put that bonus feature out on the because I gave it to our subs recently. I'm going to go put it on general.
Ancient films, precious.
If you guys missed last week, now that it's been restored, go back and watch last week's big reveal. We had a 7-minute excerpt from Lord of the Rings that Idle did all the voiceover for, and Warner Brothers promptly took it down after quickly. 30 minutes of it. Yeah, so.
And I went, knocked down the doors and I went, "Oi, this is fair use, bruv. What do you think you're doing?" And they went, "No, I'm so sorry, Mr. Idle, sir. No, we'll put it back up." Something like that. Anyway.
The Timelines Talks lawyers had them shaking in their boots. I can tell you that much.
Yeah. Just walked in there. Well, no. What were we talking about? Late objective events. So yes, it was slightly late. So that's a small wind there. Things weren't planned on time. Kind of par for the course. A weird anomaly in the store today, which I didn't notice because I tend to go for these deals, but the Crewman Cutler deal, which you could buy for, I believe it's $24 or £24, is up for 35 days. So no rush on that one. So if you see that in for the next month,
no, 35, right?
35 days apparently, yeah. So if you can see that for a while, you know, it's there. You can really just keep on buying Crewman Cutler well past their expiry.
35 days, 20 hours.
For the extra event packs that you won't be able to open because that'll come down on Monday or whatever.
Yeah. So
nice.
That's a little anomaly. And also, speaking of professionalism, thank you, Janos, we don't seem to have any art for Dahj. She is the invisible android. She is not here. She is an ex-droid, as it were. She's not in the game. There is.
Well, I mean, if you've seen Picard,
well, this is true. Actually, yeah, maybe this is actually the art. Is the dust of Dahj. The essence of Dahj, as Stars would say.
Vaporized Dahj.
Fantastic. No, have they?
Go. Yeah, no, I checked now. It's still not up. You can go ahead and pull them up and let's talk about her. If you go to bigbook.app, folks, her pinch and zoom art is there in all its glory, and that's actually pretty good.
There we go.
Like if you go there on mobile and pinch and zoom, you can see like her little necklace underneath her.
It's very good art.
Poncho. It's great art.
It's up on screen now, guys. If you want to have a quick look, that's the artwork for Dahj. We have we've pulled up for you there now. It's really nice, but there are some issues even with this card. Dip Sec, she is Voyage rank number 48 boosted. Couple of collections, all round pretty decent card to get. Guys, please give us the lowdown.
Her life in danger and her world in shambles. Dahj seeks Picard's help. Kind of a short flavor, but it's good.
Not a memory alpha? Do we need to do the memory alpha check? Is it there?
I'm doing the MA check now with every new crew because it's about 50-50 that they're going to be taken from the first paragraph of Memory Alpha. So,
yeah, there you go. But yes,
Chuck points out she's pretty coiffured, pretty well put together for someone. Okay, here's my thing. When we see her, and I guess this is, I don't know, is this activated Dahj technically?
Yeah,
but we see her at the beginning we see her at the beginning of Picard where she's with her boyfriend. And she has this like extended fight scene with the bad guys that beam in. And then later when she's with Picard, which I guess this is where the art comes from, she does this other big fight scene where she's doing like wrestling moves like suplexes, and she jumps 50 meters into the air and springs at the bad guy, and she's like breaking ankles and throwing people around. And she's a dip primary. I'm like, hold on a second. Like, is that the diplomacy of botanists in the 24th century? So
yeah, it's like her and noted diplomat Rey Mysterio Jr. They're just making a tag team.
Booyaka, booyaka, Dahj on the run.
But do you know, ever since they've unveiled this card's name as well, I've had Fox on the Run in my, Fox on the Run in my head non-stop. That's all I can hear whenever I read this name. It's just why Dahj on the Run? Why not?
Yeah, or Band on the Run, you know, get your wings on, depending on how old.
Yeah, that's the other one.
Walt, do you have any music-related puns for Dahj?
I was with you. I was on Band on the Run as well. So, and like others have said, there's it's Dahj on the Run, but she's just stood there. It's a bit sort of like, where's the dynamic pose?
There's your line of the show right
I know
there.
They can all be dynamic, but yeah, we could.
Hey, Namer, can we rename this crew in the Big Book to Dahj just standing there?
Could have called it Dahj on the Ram.
So, that's not bad. All right, here's another thing. Riddle me this. Her ship arena quote is, "I don't want the game to end." Now, that's what Picard says in the first scene when he's dreaming, talking to Data. Did they just pull up the transcript and copy a random quote and then give it to her?
Yeah, because she doesn't say that. Picard says that in a dream. So there's
I mean, was there a game her and boyfriend were playing before the activation scene happened? Were they playing Parcheesi or something?
Yeah, that's a little
Twister?
bit of a... I mean,
Scrabble?
We have, hinted that there has been a bit of, with the Memory Alpha text, there is a bit of few sort of, what's the word?
Laziness, lack of effort.
Yeah, and I think this is another example of, okay, it's the arena ability, okay, it's the flavor text, but still, we're going to notice we're Trek fans, and she did not say that. That is
Yeah.
That's a bit of a
I hope someone got fired for that blunder.
Well, I mean,
her comment to Picard when she said what happened, she said it was like lightning struck. You know, wasn't that like the
that's
text
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be something like that.
Yeah.
The other thing I could see being a possibility is maybe there is going
Dahj, I sure do love murdering Romulans. They could put that in there. I don't know.
Not you, Laris. Not you, Laris. No, not you.
Good Romulans, bad Romulans, only bad Romulans. No, like, do you
Or
think
just
this
have
is...
the
Go
ahead.
No, do you think this is another situation where we probably have got a Picard variant coming that's Picard playing poker and his flavor text is "I don't want the game to end," but someone copy and pasted the wrong flavor text? I wouldn't be surprised if that.
Oh, is it another Booker Boothby situation?
Very possibly. So we'll see. I don't know. Dancing Picard, and that'll be his. I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say what's the alphabetical thing there? It's like
Or it'll just be there'll be maybe the
Picard.
block of Picard characters they're bringing in, because we know there's probably going to be more with Picard season 2 coming out, so they just went we'll do this one, and they probably just copy and paste things all over the place and they just got the wrong one. So hopefully we'll see a Picard variant saying a Dahj line. That'll make it up.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Idle, I think it was you who posted on our Discord the block of shows coming up. So can you grab that image to pull up in a minute? Because I do want to talk about it briefly. But let's...
Thank you
hello.
very much, GoBolts, for subscribing. We do appreciate that. Sorry, what am I grabbing? The events?
No, the upcoming shows. I think you're the one who put that image of. We have like Trek Solid through July.
That one. Yes, that's worth talking about as well, actually. Let me grab that up.
But before we do that, let's actually talk about Dahj the card instead of critiquing everything that WG did wrong. Another big dip base. Now, we had Luau Q giveaway, we had Sahil giveaway, well, Mega giveaway, we had Returning Saru giveaway, all dip bases. Now we have another big dip base here, and it's looking like, we'll get into it later, the next Mega crew may also be dip primary, so we're getting a lot of dip. Her skill set's better, though. I think it's in, like, the bottom 7. It's like the 7th or 6th rarest skill set. So there's a little value there. I think Namer pointed out earlier, they have given us a few good Voyagers there, like Ragibal Bashir and Ephraim and Dot and such, but she's a good Voyager.
Brian. Ragibal O'Brien, not Bashir.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Suddenly they promoted him to 5 stars. I forgot. And, every crew has traits and collections, so if you need those particular ones, she's all right there. So, yeah, she's a pretty good all-rounder. Yeah.
She's about the same Voyager rank activated Dahj was when she first came out, because I remember her being top 50 or in that kind of range. So
not quite as good.
No. Activated Dahj, she was on the fringe of top 10 when she debuted.
Oh, wow. Yeah, she was pretty good.
So, yeah, that's the main warning sign here, is just that she's debuting in that power level where most things that are going to come out after this are going to surpass her just in raw totals. So she's going to fall down the ranks faster than some of these other more recent crew have. So, I mean, today looks pretty decent on paper, but, that's going to get old fast, I suspect.
Walt, you said you watched the episode recently. We've had 2 Dahjes now, but I think she dies in the first episode. Yeah. Spoiler alert, the show's been out for a while.
In while you can, I think.
Are we going to get any other... Does she have any other variants?
I think...
well, like the Genesis said in chat, how comes we get 2 Dahjes but 1 Soji? So...
I think we should get one of her...
There's a lot of Soji.
Yeah, one of her talking to her mother, maybe. I think that's kind of the only other moment. Oh, no, was that Soji? Oh, no, that might be Soji.
No, we need to get... we got to get makeout sesh. Dahj. That's the one we're missing.
Still won't have romantic trade, though. So.
Yeah.
We gotta be consistent. Bag over her head.
Hold on, if we get Dahj on the run...
More variants for less than that, then.
If this is Dahj on the run, her with her boyfriend has to be Dahj on the couch, right? We just release a whole line of Dahj on the variants.
I'm going to be very cultural.
Dahj on the prowl.
I was going to say Dahj on the game, but that's not perfect. Yes, so Dahj on the...
All right, chat. You've proven much clever. Chat has proven much cleverer than we are. Give us your best Dahj variants and their outrageous possible names. Dahj on the prowl, sneaking out of the Villa Dahj.
I said that already.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a Romulan hit squad.
No,
Genos, thank you.
No, you cannot. But that was wonderful.
That's amazing. Dahj on a bench, yeah. Or you could have a Dahj and Picard fusion when they meet at the chateau, which would essentially be this card and a Picard variant. Maybe him and his sort of.
There we go. Dahj on a canvas.
Oh, yes.
She's the thing on the painting.
That's true. Well, is that Dahj though, or is that Soji, or is that unnamed clone number whatever? It could be John or
whatever. Yeah, one of them.
So before we wrap up on this,
oh man, Dahj all over the ground. That is brutal.
Exploding Dahj.
Okay, before we put it, I asked for this, so I shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up on this, the Starfleet communique that came in says the new collection is called Great Compassion, features crew the Caregiver trait, which will be the bonus trait of our soon-to-be-announced mega event. So I can't help but notice there's no Caregiver trait here for Dahj. Now, we ran into this last month where they had one planned cultural figure in the cultural figure mega, and then I think they added a few later on after people complained. You could give her the Caregiver trait. If you go back and watch that, she is escorting Picard, and she's taking care of him. She protects him physically in the fight. So, I mean, it's not the traditional nursing bottle and stuff, but she does protect him. So, my thinking is, why use a crew that's not a caregiver if you're starting a Caregiver mega? They keep doing this.
They do keep doing this. Yes, this is.
So you're saying that the Caregiver is the equivalent of helping the elderly merit badge for the scouts or something?
They cross the street.
Yeah, it's true.
Can we have a brief aside before we go on to our next crew?
This is all asides. What are you talking about?
Hey, it's Tangent City and Stars isn't even here. There was a big announcement from Star Trek HQ, basically laying out the upcoming shows for the next year, essentially. We finally had confirmation. This is big news because this is why we're here. Coming back on February 10th, we will have the 4th season of Discovery. We already knew that. We're very excited. March 3rd, the new series of Picard starts, and you can see on the screen there I've got the roster of every day, every week the show is coming out, and actually runs side by side with Discovery, so we'll actually have 2 proper treks on at the same time. Amazing.
Hold on a second. From chat, Deja Vu. That's a good name. That's Timeline Stocks approved.
Picard will conclude on May the 5th, the same day that Strange New Worlds Season 1 will start. So May 5th is the actual start of that, and I'm hyped for that. And later in the year, there will be Lower Decks Season 3 and more of Prodigy. There's Prodigy starting again at the moment, but there will be more Prodigy later in 2022. Not only that, we already knew that Picard is getting a Season 3, which is kind of most people believe it's going to be the final season, because I think he was commissioned for 3 series anyway. Strange New Worlds has been renewed for Season 2 already, before Season 1 has aired. Bold move, Cotton. We'll see if it works. Discovery is getting Season 5, which, yes, so suck it all those people who stream and say, oh, it's being cancelled every year. Yeah, right, whatever. Lower Decks is getting 4 seasons, which is probably the highlight for me. And Prodigy is getting a Season 2. So there is renewals all around for all the existing series. So this is
crazy.
This is the golden age. Like, this is... I would say, obviously, you've got the Silver Age, what people grade comics, didn't they? So you had, like, the original series, and then you had the Silver Age, which I would believe is, like, TNG and Voyager, and we're in the kind of modern, contemporary, I wouldn't say golden age, but we're definitely in a
It's the Paleozoic era, really, of Star Trek.
I mean, if you want to go... If you want to go in comics terms, this is probably the Silver Age, but it feels like, there's never been more density of Trek.
Yes, that's true.
Now than there has been in any other time.
It's chewy, jammy, plummy, and dense. This is the heart of Star Trek.
The thing is...
Well, hold on. I want to hear Walt talk about this, because I always bring up at the end of Enterprise, which was, 2004 or something, I legitimately thought this might be the end of Trek. Like, there was flagging interest in it. We just had this big run of other shows. And it was, 25 years between original series and TNG. I thought, maybe I don't see another Trek in my lifetime. Now we're getting 5 at once. They're all being renewed. Walt, growing up, were you in the same boat with Trek? Not sure whether or not it would come back.
So when I born 77, and we didn't get Next Generation till what, 1990?
87.
It came out 89.
Yes, 87.
Oh, with the UK, yeah, UK
started in
didn't get it
87,
till the
but we
90s.
didn't get it UK till a couple of years. Yeah, it was a few years lag. So when I was young, my sort of Star Trek wasn't a big thing. As a child, you can probably sort of see another franchise sort of might have had an influence on me more than that. But yeah, so I remember Next Generation was like a big thing. Oh, it's Star Trek, and I certainly enjoyed all the movies and stuff. And then sort of very much got into Next Generation, and then DS9 was treated a bit funnily. I can't remember some weird sort of scheduling stuff they did in the UK
BBC
again
2.
on that one. They sort of
6
screwed it
o'clock
up
on
and-
BBC 2. I remember religiously putting it there. Oh, auto's gone. Yeah.
Sort of dicked around with it, didn't they, from memory? And then Voyager came along, and it was like, okay, yeah. So it was all good, it was like we've just there was new, but yeah, when Enterprise came along, and it didn't, it was a bit of a nosedive, really, sort of for most people, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Although people look fondly on
that.
Enterprise. But I think
After that, and
Some do.
the movie's finishing it. Kind of a bit of a lull, wasn't there? And it was like, oh, where's this going now? Because Gene Roddenberry had passed away some years before that, so very much that could have been the end of Trek then, couldn't it? Quite easily.
Yeah, if it wasn't for I think Rick Berman taking up the whatever you may think of the man, he did keep it running for a long time. But I think the beauty is now, and I know a lot of people, I know yourself, Auto, are not keen on the shows like Discovery and things like that, but they are producing now a little bit. It's not just essentially 3 series running alongside each other. They are 3 different series. There's something a little bit for everyone. There's Disco, which is the more sort of modern take on Star Trek. There is Picard, which is revisiting old themes. No, I'm not putting words in your mouth.
Don't misrepresent me. Just because it's garbage television and the worst thing ever put on camera, and it totally not Trek, and what kind of fake fan would ever watch it, doesn't mean I don't like it. All right. I think you're putting words in my mouth a little.
Right, okay, fine. I won't beat about the bush. But then you've got shows like Lower Decks, which are catered for the animated fans, and sort of for the people that sort of like the callbacks and things like that. And Prodigy, which is approaching younger viewers, and I'm sure they've got plans for sort of hit every market as opposed to all the same ones. And I kind of like that. They're approaching it a little bit for everyone.
Well, and I think also another smart thing that they've done is they've really kind of carved out a different time period in the Trek timeline to stick all these things. Once they moved Discovery into its own kind of space, everything kind of has its own slot in time to take up, so they're not really stepping on each other anymore, as it were. So I think that's also really smart.
Definitely. Back on topic.
Let's do Behold a Meter.
Okay,
we've done
that sounds
enough
like a good
talking.
idea.
Let's
Right,
do something visual.
Let's do a Beholder meter. Right. Oh, we don't have stars for. Someone's gonna have to do their tricorder noise. Walt, can you do a tricorder noise?
I don't know.
No, I know.
All right. Okay.
Do big kicking his dog noise. That's always a good fan favorite.
Sure, why not?
Okay. No, there is no sign for the Beholder meter, but we will get that. 0 stars on Lieutenant Commander Jadzia Dax holding a brain. 0 stars on Gloria. 0 stars on Abraham Lincoln. Slightly offset there. I don't know why, but there you go. Yeah, this is an interesting one. There's merits to 2 of these, and the others are Dax.
I mean, yeah, not to stack the deck or anything. No, at this point in the game, I really do think it's probably Abe Lincoln. I think that's the long-term play, because I don't think any of these are really going to be daily use crew for most rosters, or really any rosters outside of brand new players. I mean, and Lieutenant Commander Dax, like that's the #1 counter argument to the old tired rule of always take Dax, because she is old and tired, and not just because she's on her 6th or 7th lifetime. Just the numbers just don't add up anymore. So it's just
not been a Dax variant Dax event for a very long time. It has been
yeah, and yeah, because that's also true.
Yeah.
It's just that the events have dried up almost entirely for Daxes. So
I'd say, Lincoln were good for collections, but then you're gonna need all 5 stars on him. Whereas like he's got a 45% gauntlet.
Yeah.
So you could get 1 star on her, and if you're struggling in gauntlet again, med command or whatever she has, she might sort of get some use for a few players at 1 star.
Just because I am that guy, we had a Dax event 4 months ago, so that's all I'm saying.
Okay.
It was the only one in. It was the only one in the year, but still, because all crew have collections these days. Gloria has 3. She also has more traits left on the hopper than Abe does. So I think I'm buying what Walt is selling here. She has a little bit of gauntlet usability. If you hear cats meowing, there. Hey, cutie pie.
that's because cats are meowing.
Are they doing the beholder meter noise?
I mean, I do have 3 cats.
Tricorder, meow.
I could probably have you guys pick between which 3 of the cats you like the best someday.
That impression was brilliant. Was that Heathcliff?
Sure, why not? Whichever you like.
Oh, we got a kitty. That is a large
Auto and Grudge.
Yes.
That is that is a significant amount of cat.
That is a lot.
She's a big girl.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to continue this segment. Yeah, Gloria, a little bit of gauntlet if you're a newer player. 3 collections already. Counselor, bartender, empath, civilian. Almost anything could hit these days. Although, I don't know. Are we giving Resourceful too much credit here? Because it was a massive collection, but are we ever getting Desperate? Are we ever getting Civilian?
Desperate.
Maybe Civilian.
Yeah,
I would think Civilian before Desperate. Just that's my gut feeling. And I think if either of those if either of those show up, then we're in the end days.
The thing is, they put Resourceful in, which no one would have thought, and that was like an 180 large collection. I think there's nothing off the table now. Like, I think any collection, they'll just go, it's 300.
I mean,
whatever.
Is there some other egregious trait that needs to be removed from a crew that is valuable? That way they come up with another absurdly large collection as a mea culpa for it?
I mean, if we're going to be politicking, the best thing to come out of our whining would be like a massive 300 crew collection, right? Then everyone gets value.
Hey, here's the Super Rare collection. Off you go. Gotta catch them all. Which has been threatened at one point. Okay, I think this sounds like it's clear Gloria. Let's do one more and then we'll move on. So give me that kitty noise.
Nope, the mic's not going to activate, but she is purring. So.
Okay. Right.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm just not going to stop you. With that, okay. 0 stars on Mirror Ellen Landry, 0 stars on Julian Bashir, or 0 stars on Joseph Sisko.
This seems like a clear Bashir to me.
This is dire. I will give a small shout out to Joseph Sisko for being caregiver and communicator, which I didn't know until I got him in a behold. I was like, wow, you are my best option. How did this happen?
Not only that, but resourceful too.
Yes.
So
he's got 3 collections, which who knew? Still. Well,
yeah.
What's your choice here?
I'm with Big Bashir. Bashir's got 4 collections. Bashir. So I took him myself from a behold this week when the portal update. He was again hummed and hard. I already had a couple of stars on him. I'm just trying to finish off that blooming collection. So, yep.
I'd like to give a shout out to an embarrassingly vanilla flavor text for Julian Bashir. It reads, Bashir played the role of a secret agent in a recreational holosuite program. Like, what's the point of flavor text if you're just gonna like? Of all the flavor texts, that's certainly one of them.
Did he bond with that program?
Oh no! See, if they would have said he bonded with Garrick, like that. See, they could have.
Yeah,
that would do it.
Bajoran claps from Walt for that one.
How about Landry?
I think Chad is all aboard Bashir train.
Absolutely. I wouldn't recommend Landry, and I'd say it's got to be Bashir. Okay.
I mean, just engineered and physician is enough. And seems like to me those are pretty tough ones to
And,
I will say, I did like Landry in Discovery, and I kind of wish we'd seen more of her. She was a pretty badass character.
Season 3 as well. That was good. But yeah, I'd like more Landry. Bring Landry back somehow. They've revived everyone from the dead. It's got to happen.
Wait a sec. Did they? Because I'm a little fuzzy on my disco. The Landry that we originally see at the beginning of the show, that's the mirror version, right? That came over with Lorca?
That's Prime.
No?
No, she just basically sucks up to anyone that is Jason Isaacs.
Right.
You look like Jason Isaacs, Landry's there.
I mean, I'm there too.
Yeah, true.
Dude is a hunk.
The body, the Ripper definitely got us.
Avoid the tardigrades.
Yes.
Yeah, you think we'll ever get Mirror Ripper as a card in game?
That's a good one. But what would he look like? Would he have an eye patch?
He would look like Ephraim and Dot. He'd be cute and cuddly. And...
Yes, and the beard on a tardigrade.
He'd have a goatee. Do you guys not realize how these things work?
Oh, sorry.
Just, We're
got
the Van Dyke.
Actually, no. All the mirror crew, all the mirror female crew, just have excessive eyeshadow and a real just like evil grin at all times and very malicious.
That's
like
true.
Mirror OO is just beating the shit out of people.
Leather everywhere.
A giant Hasidic Jew beard that like touches the floor.
Okay.
I aspire to such a beard.
He's auditioning to be the replacement bassist in ZZ Top, I guess.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on to.
We have so many more notes to go.
It's fine. It's fine. Let's talk about this week's rerun. Oh no, sorry, next week's rerun, which is coming up, which features the rerun event where people could have won Belle Q, who will be the 400k reward. And I have to say, actually, one of the more attractive, both physically and statistically looking cards that we've had in a 400k reward, especially for me because I have a 4 or 5, so I'm very excited by this one. It's not just another but no, this is although tier 7, I actually quite like Belle Q as a card because I think the artwork's fantastic. I think any more Qs are great for whatever reason, guys. Sorry, I'm spinning out of the top of my head at the moment. Guys, Belle Q, let's go.
This is Dryuary, and you're still bouncing around.
This is me sober. Like, is there much of a difference? I'm definitely, I don't know.
I think you do better with a little bit of sauce, you know?
Yeah.
Sauce for the Goose Savick?
Well, I will say, I actually skipped her in the original run of her event, just because at that time I didn't really think that she was worth pursuing. So I'll be happy to have a relatively low effort star on her just to get her started, because the collection value is there. I mean, the Q Continuum collection, seems fairly trivial.
I can
at
see
this
it being
point,
expanded. They're adding a lot of Qs lately. I think that's something that's going to go to. Was it 10 at the moment? They could go up to 25. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah.
Let me count the Qs.
Yeah.
Well, we're bound to get more John Delancey variants because they love him. So.
And he's in Picard season 2. So
and he's in
Rightfully
Picard season 2.
What are the odds we get a 4th mega recurring Q from Picard this upcoming season?
It's gotta happen.
Non-zero.
I wouldn't even hate it. Like, I know some people get a little fed up with it. It's like, dude, friggin' John Delancey, like, back up the truck, bring me more Delancey, you know?
Yeah, Q is pretty much unfailingly great anytime he shows up. I'm never upset to have more Q variants, and because he's just always just chewing the scenery just to bits, and it's great.
Which for anyone else is a detriment, but for John Delancey just seems to make, bearing in mind what his character's like, is just like, yeah, go for it, go ham. We love it.
Eat any good books lately, Worf?
Yeah.
All right, Walt.
I think there's always a danger with omnipotent beings in that it's hard to do something with them because basically they can do anything, they can do everything. There's no limits, and they've really sort of almost hit it nail on the head straight away with the way that they got Q to some interesting stuff. It wasn't just him being, I'm all powerful, I can just swat you like a fly, blah blah blah. They made more stories around it, and it was sort of
he was
really well done,
testing.
and they've continued that.
Yeah, he was constantly testing people, wasn't he? Every kind of Q episode is another sort of test for humanity. Even the ones where the way he got turned into a human as well was another kind of a test of sort of people's abilities to deal with an omnipotent person that has now become human that they hate. It's all, the game never ends, as he always says, and I'm very excited to see more of him in Picard season 2. But Belle Q, what did you think of the... Go on.
Shypor in chat says, I assume Delancey had equity in the game in exchange for Q likenesses.
Actually,
they offered him 2 legendary variants a year if he would do the voiceovers, and he's like, sold!
I'm there. That's why they never have any budget. It's all gone to Delancey. He's ruining this game.
We would have had proper flavor text if it wasn't for Delancey's paycheck.
It's like we could have had a cappuccino machine in the office, but we had to have Delancey.
Ben on the other end is like, we're so tired.
All right, a shout out. This one, another shout out to Namer, who's popped up all throughout this episode. We have now Susie Plaxon can run a voyage all by herself. We have Med from Dr. Solar. We have engineering from Miss Q. We have science dip command from Belle Q. And what's the last one? Sec from Tara, Lieutenant Tara from the, she was the Andorian on Enterprise. So if you love Susie Plaxon, which I think a lot of fans do, you can run an all Plaxon voyage now.
We just need her augment.
Or Klingon Kalar could have done it too.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, we just need an augment character from the DS9 episodes, whatever her name was. I forget now. Do you remember her name? It was Patrick and the others.
Oh, that's not Susie Plaxon.
That's not Susie Plaxon.
Is that not?
That's not Susie.
Oh,
no.
well, I'm wrong then. I was
Fake fan.
Shit.
Boo.
Well, there we
Drink
go.
some more booze, Idol.
I thought I was being caught out. I was like, oh, she was on DS9.
Yeah,
I don't remember that at all.
No, sorry, that's me. Back in my head, that's Susie. Well, there we go. Anyway, when we're getting the Plaxton's Pals collection, that's what I want to know. Just all
Yeah, it's
Susie
true.
Plaxton. That's enough. That's enough cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Belle Q, to put a bow on it. I kind of like Q crew, Q Continuum crew, because they don't have Human Federation or Starfleet traits, which means they actually have to think a little bit. They usually have crafty, scoundrel, or whatever, but those are something. They're a little bit better. They're antimatter bonuses or crit traits for the gauntlet, and they're probably going to be like costumed on a bunch of them as already a collection trait. So I like Q Continuum crew. I can get them, and she's fine for that. Already 3 collections. We'll probably hit 4 or 5 before too long. And for a free start, 400,000 VP, you could do a lot worse.
Some value here. I was going to talk about Commander Shelby, but I can't be bothered.
Let's do it.
Oh, okay.
Let's do it.
Did I put her stats in here? I actually think I might have forgotten to put her stats in here. Oh no, I
did.
I did.
I think it's Nifty Mittens said he's going to be in a meeting today at work. He says, "Oh, I might just barely catch the end of the show." I'm like, "Is that a challenge? We're going 4 hours today, baby."
Yeah, strap yourself in. Commander Shelby is the sort of ranked card you can get, and the reason I kind of point this one out and the reason I put it in the show notes is because this definitely is top contender for most disappointing card on release, because Shelby is very much a I wouldn't say beloved character, but very much anticipated character. A lot of people like Shelby and wanted to see more of her after Best of Both Worlds. It was definitely a sort of a fan favorite character. And then just to see her as a 2-skiller command sec with literally nothing of value whatsoever apart from... And she's in the wrong pose anyway. She's holding cards, but she should be sitting down. Like, this is all kinds of wrong.
Well, it's the Frederick LaRocque paradox, where if they're sitting down, it's kind of harder for them to draw, so they just put them standing up.
Mark Jameson. He's sitting down.
I mean...
or like Wrathful Kirk... That kind of thing where he shouldn't be standing either, but it's just a serial thing that they've done over time.
Yeah. Crewman Wyatt.
Yes, this card
sucks.
Over.
Yes. Yeah, this card is just terrible.
All right, so I like to plug my own shit, and I went back and watched Best of Both Worlds to audit the traits, and I found her wanting, missing a few. Maverick, Resourceful, Saboteur. And I think if they gave her... even 2 of those 3, she'd have a pretty decent lineup for collections. Because, I mean, what are Super Rare Crew for men like us? What are Super Rare Crew but collection fodder anyways?
We have already been accused
of being, to us.
We've been accused already of being called Wales Talk, so, like, let's... But you're not wrong.
Well, it's just, with I think the real thing that the way they misstepped here is by making her just the plain name variant, Commander Shelby. Like, this is supposed to be the baseline version of Shelby from the episode. So, you know, that's all she is. This is what they say that Commander Shelby should be as far as timelines is concerned. So that's very disappointing, very mediocre or worse. And yeah, Command Sec, it's just she was doing science during that episode. She was, it could be argued anyway. That's just,
I mean, if Barry Waddle is an Eng primary, you can do pretty much whatever you want with crew. So
if Ruafo is an Eng primary, you can, all bets are off. So yeah, just a disappointment on basically every level. Yes.
I want to go alternate universe a little bit here, because I had this thought the other day, and I think I shared it among friends, but I would kind of have liked, if you guys have seen the movie A Few Good Men with Jack Nicholson, Tom Cruise, in it, Demi Moore plays this very upstart, tenacious, young officer, JAG officer. And I was thinking, you know, that movie came out in 92. Best of Both Worlds was, what, 90? I would have loved to see a young Demi Moore in this role as Commander Shelby, because she definitely had teeth as a character. I think she would have knocked it out of the park. Am I the only one here?
No. And, well, not to do a disservice to the actress that played Commander Shelby, because she did a fantastic job in that role, too. But, yeah, I definitely, in a what-if scenario, I think Demi Moore would have crushed it, too, for sure.
Walt, were you like me? And I think the Best of Both Worlds came on in the UK, and I don't think it came back for about a good year or like 2 years or something like that. There was a huge gap in the UK, I remember. I remember not seeing part 2 for quite some time. Was that just me, or did it air like that?
I don't remember. I mean, I remember watching it, but I don't remember sort of how it went and sort of the airtime. So, yeah, I think obviously Shelby was sort of written for very much. Well, okay, from memory, wasn't there some sort of weird thing about contracts where they weren't sure if Patrick Stewart was coming back for the next series?
Right, yes, that was what he was supposed to be written off.
When I wrote the first part, they kind of didn't know what way the second part was going to go. So it was very much, it was there for the taking. Either Shelby was going to be perhaps the number one to the Captain Riker, if Jean-Luc Picard was to pop his clogs, or you know, if Jean-Luc Picard came back, which he did, then he was going to disappear into obscurity. You know, and
it's
so
such a shame, but
the latter happened. So yeah, I think.
Well, I mean, I think I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I think we just she's not a great card. I think again most of us will have her stuck in the freezer. She's certainly this must be one of the older cards. It must have been around from sort of first year or two. So
this is actually 2020, middle of 2020.
I remember getting
January
her.
Really?
Yeah, I remember getting her in an event and airlocking her out of disgust. I didn't even want to keep it. I was just like, I can't. This is terrible.
Yeah.
I object to everything.
I must have done the same. Got her in an event and went garbage and straight away. So
yeah.
So I do got to point out. That's excellent grammar, Otto.
You do gotta.
Season 2, Episode 5 of Lower Decks gives us Captain Shelby.
Yep.
She actually made a cameo there. Along with, I mean, Lower Decks have been pretty good about cameos and references. It's a love letter to Trek fans, essentially. So you get crew like Sonia Gomez, who Alicia Neff came back and voiced that. I don't know if Dennehy voiced Captain Shelby, but regardless,
she had any voice lines. I think she was just in the background.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she was just sort of standing there. I think someone's about to talk to her, and then they get whisked away.
Kind of feels like it's a love letter specifically to TNG fans, more than anything else. Yeah.
Someone handsome and intelligent already put Captain Shelby in chat. Auto, you missed that one. So.
Okay. Well, I don't read chat. They're just here for our edification.
We love
it's
you.
Yes and us, right?
Don't listen to him.
Also, love letter to Voyager because we get the Tom Paris commemorative plates. So,
no, they're here to give me crap about saying that Commander Shelby was doing science, and
science.
They're really holding my feet to the fire on that one. So,
Okay.
Hey,
She was
WRG
doing a
Ben in
science.
chat. Happy New Year, Ben.
Happy New Year.
Hi, Ben.
Right. We have had
The lap.
a Portal update. It happened out of the blue. I don't know. Well, it wasn't out of the blue. We knew it was coming this month, but it was all of a sudden. People started noticing a retrieval. You could retrieve Adam. Don't know why he was the focus of the first retrieval, but there it was. So I think it's because
Why shouldn't he be?
Hey, we have first to max on Adam, Big
Very
McLarge
true, very
Huge,
true.
here on the show.
This
yes.
guy.
Portal update has happened for those that weren't aware and didn't see the communication. So please go and pull your
Yes,
pants.
Ben, we knew it was coming this month because you guys promoted that
You
in
did
your...
put it in your announcement.
Yeah.
You guys should talk more. But yes, the Portal updates happened. I think it goes all the way up to it goes from Lothario Q to acting Captain Tilly, as far as this all the timeline of timelines is concerned.
It was right before the Tribble Mega cut off, so if you missed that Mega like I did and are trying to complete the collection, better luck next year.
Tribble McCoy is in there, but the rest of the Tribble crew are not, like Uhura and Sulu. They're not there. So it cuts off just around there. But Tribble Kirk is not in. So if you're thinking about signing him at some point, it's probably still a safe side for the immediate future.
Someone posted to the subreddit yesterday, like the very first voyage they ran, they got Anxious Kirk.
I know, I saw that.
Which you can't 100% retrieve, so it's like, that's the perfect ASIM, that's the best voyage value drop you could possibly get at this point, I think.
It's like the best you can do is like a 20% shot at Anxious Kirk.
I did like the post they put up with us, like, I think I sense a reunion coming or something. I was like, oh, yeah, okay, well done. Good joke, but yes.
All right, Walt, the floor is yours now, because you were talking about reunion Spock and Kirk, and you had designs there.
I missed out on Felterpan Spock back when that event. I think I was like 1600 or something in that event. And obviously it like hurt, and so I've been coveting that card for a year basically. And whenever Nifty mentions his 3 copies, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll get there one day. So I've very much got designs. My next few retrievals I think now are going to be ring fence with Felterpan Spock. I got an Anxious Kirk from a single pull. So I was more than happy with that. I'm hoping to get a few more Kirks drop in so I can get the fuse done and get him done on his own. And obviously I'm not going to use him much, but once I get him done, a couple of collections and Kirk events maybe. But yeah, so I'm very much happy with the update. Dexa I already have. I know it's a big one of the big for a lot of people. They're keen to get Dexa that might have missed out on her. Some of the guys in the fleet got her, and they're very happy with that. Not many cards. Okay, there's a few purples here and there that I just want to get in as infill, and I've got some sort of 2 stars on maybe, but I've been on 6 packs. And I can't think there's too many other cards I'm really desperate to get out of the Portal update.
Chat, let us know who you are targeting, because also Retrieval Portal is updated, so who are you guys targeting for your first retrieval? Is it going to be someone new from the Portal? Is there someone you're looking to get from Voyages or packs?
Thanks, chat, for
remarking on my absence. Or has this not changed your plans at all? Are the same crew that we're planning on retrieving before the Portal update the same as the crew that you're going to retrieve after the Portal update? Did this change nothing? Let us know.
I actually opened my packs before the Portal update because I've been playing for the last year or so fairly consistently. And so I thought, this is going to add a lot more Frozen Beholds of crew that I already got from events, like that big costume Mega Dexa and Barry Waddle and all this. I already have them done, so I'd rather take my chances before the update. So,
well, I mean, because it's like we said. It's like we said at the time. It's like these are the crew worth pursuing. So we did, and we got them all. And we finished them all.
That is the downside.
So there's not,
But not everyone is in that position. A lot of people got them at 1 or 2 stars, or maybe just pull one from a pack. And so having the option now to retrieve these human Saru decks, even like people that crew like Zahay and Idira, if you got them 4 or 5, and you want to sort of get that last star on, that was a great mega, and it's a good one to be included. There's a lot of good stuff in this Portal update. There's a fair bit of rubbish. Let me just pull up a list of some notable names, which I should have done pre-show probably, but there we are.
While you're doing that, let me go down chat. Cold, who just did a big pack opening stream prior to the show in Discord, says he desperately needs a Lieutenant Rizzo for his last super rare star. Cranky is looking for a couple...
I would like.
If it's his last one, you know, it's nice to have that completed. Cranky's looking for his last stars on Yates, probably for Scapegoat O'Brien. Gazoo's working on collections. Wrathful Khan right now. That's a good one. He's flies under the radar because he's an old crew, but he's got a lot of good traits. Robbie's just got Saboteur Garrick. That's a good card. Shyborn says nothing changes. He's looking for Ogawa since he just missed out on her. Sorry, buddy.
Oh man, that's rough.
So
actually, me and I was just gonna say me and Idle are both. I just finished my last star on Yates to get my Scapegoat, and Idle is. Yeah, tomorrow.
My day.
So,
I get the goat tomorrow.
So we all get to be Scapegoat buddies there.
I tell you what, after this, let's jump up to the collection because that kind of ties into.
We will. Just a few notable names in this update. We've got sort of Lothario Q is now in. That's kind of where it starts. Bridal Deanna Troy is now retrievable. She's got a top command med crew. Not the best, but she's, you know, definitely, if you're sore in that spot, she'll do very good. Just looking down, crew number 1000. Tactical Officer Mayweather is there.
1000-ish.
1000-ish, yeah. 1004, something like that. We go. Falterpan Spock, if you're looking to do the reunion Spock and Kirk fusion, he's there. Even though Anxious Kirk, like Big said, you can only get him a 20% chance, but it's good to get that set up. Plutonian Chekhov, not bad. You know, he's got his use. I think he's sex size, pretty decent in that arena. Obviously, Dexa. We've got Human Saru. Barry Waddle is in there. Yeah, quite a few. Well, no, you're retrieving super rares. You're not doing it. Tactical Stamets is now there. I know he was a birthday behold, so a lot of people, myself included, picked him up. Klingon West is a very decent card in the sort of command. I think he's command sec, isn't he? But he's one of the powerhouses there. Still got Klingon seats.
We've been getting a lot of command sec lately.
Have.
So.
He kind of has a bit of a niche for his seat trait, for his sort of seating. So I think he will still get. Well, I mean, I've got Fencing Picard, I've got Lieutenant Sahil, and I've just put Klingon Western of 11.5-hour estimated voyage. So, you know, he will get work.
Well, the thing is, I mean, we get accused of being elitists all the time. Not everyone has all these crew. Well, we understand that, but when you have like 5 giveaway command sec in the space of 3-4 months, like everyone has command sec. That's the one skill set that you can't say is not redundant.
I'll put it like this. Not everybody has all of these crew, but if you're playing it all, everybody has at least some of these crew. So, you know, it's like you've got some of this, and you've got enough of this.
Get some.
Yeah, get some crew.
Just continuing down, there's also this India Aquatic Counselor, was a fairly decent one. Carl Guardian Forever is there, not that you ever would, and Adam as well.
I mean, he's got 4 collections. Everyone likes collections.
Kal Haya Bashir, another sort of command med option out there. Tribble Quark, I believe, is
Adam. There. Adam clearly the crop of this portal update. Everyone should. Their next 5 portal updates should be Adam.
Oh, hang on, have I gone too far? I might have gone too far.
We went too far an hour ago.
Years ago, yes.
Yeah.
Right, I tell you what, let's jump ahead to the campaign.
Yes, let's do that. And anyway, yeah.
There's a very juicy purple in there that I want to talk about.
Yes, please go. So Caregiver campaign will be starting next week as for the communication.
Speaking of Scapegoat.
Yeah, speaking of scapegoats, Caregiver campain, mega event will be started, and we were teased, and I'll bring up this tease on the screen now. Now go away, Commander Shelby. No one wants to see you anymore.
That's not a campaign, Idle. What are you doing, buddy?
What am I doing? Oh, well, that's the wrong image as well. Let's do this one. Mega event. So the Caregiver. What's going on?
Whatever.
Professionalism.
Professionalism.
I'm just talking to my beer at this point. Hello, beer. Are you listening to me? I love you too.
Hello.
Caregiver.
I love Scotch. Scotchy.
This is what happens when you let me be sober.
What do you mean let you be?
How dare you?
You did this by your own choice.
No,
you're having to
idle. We're having an intervention. You get drunk on the stream far too often. We need you to sober up and sort yourself out. That's what you said. I got that proof. Anyway, Caregiver mega event is coming up after next week. So Dahj is the first entrance in this. We will get to the campaign in very shortly. But
we also have a Caregiver collection that chronologically predates.
We're getting there.
Okay.
We already got there.
I have started on my.
Claim your shit right now.
This is wetuary because I'm gonna keep drinking till we end the stream.
Right, fine. We'll do what you want. Let's talk about the Caregiver. Go on, you lead us in. You lead us in, Otto. You host the show.
All right, Caregiver collection. I'm going to go to the wonderful bigbook.app, which, by the way, Ben, if you haven't checked it out, I think we talked about a community resource in the past. Go to bigbook.app. You will benefit from seeing all the luscious metrics there. So notable caregivers, I'm just going to run down the tier list because we put a lot of work into it, and I think it's pretty accurate. Dexa, who's now retrievable. Moke Bar Crusher's a fantastic Voyager. The Caretaker, a Gauntlet exclusive crew who's going to have that collection notch and is going to help out with Caregiver. Prisoner Kim, who tops a lot of people's charts in terms of voyages. Flint, the recent six-pack crew, is pretty interesting. Lots of traits. A little bit of sex size, a very interesting crew. Rurigan, who was a recent event crew, so... If you plug in Caregiver, you'll see a lot of names who still have daily use, so you can sign up for that as well as the collection value. Yes, Stevie?
Yeah,
no, he's just waiting. Waiting for the right moment to fire off the neuralizer and just start this whole show over from the. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, that also pushes former giveaway crew Spock and Ichaya into 5 collections. Tasty. So if you guys are still sitting on 4 stars, you're like, his voyage rank isn't good, his base rank isn't that good. Dude is a pretty good card, so you could cite him up. Solar Sails Cisco also has 5 collections. So,
well, how do you feel about hosting a show?
Well, why not?
No, how is it?
God, no! I'll answer for him.
It's tough. You've got to keep these lunatics under control, and yourself as well.
We're a tough crowd. I warn every guest that comes on the show, I say, we're not going to stop talking. You must talk louder if you want to.
It is a constant battle. You can get dip. Dip actually goes up to 30% in total bonuses. So if you've finished all the sort of dip collections, you now have 30% base, which is outstanding. And thank you, Otto. Put these ones back on.
I couldn't bear to see that any longer.
Now that they're off, were those even prescription sunglasses?
They are prescription sunglasses. Yes, they're the exact same ones as these ones. But thank you.
Okay.
What was I talking about? Oh yes, you can get med boost as well. So there's a dip and med.
You're not even drinking.
I know.
Good grief.
I know. This is me every day. Feel sorry for my wife, please. What are we talking?
We already did.
Yeah.
Dude, even the guests burn idle on this show. This is great.
Oh dear. Thank you, Gazoo.
All right, Walt, is this changing your retrieval priorities, your citation priorities at all with this Caregiver collection and subsequent mega?
No. Okay. I've got 30 out of 40 on to the next tier of Caregivers. I've got a few sort of, I think I've got you sort of need extra stars, but yeah, like I say, with the portal update, say bulk and the fuse are the sort of goals for me in retrievals for now. So,
well, I will
just get Caregivers whenever they come along.
I will say that since you asked, you didn't ask me, but since you asked, it did change my crew retrieval plans to the point that, because like I said, I had just finished Diversion Yates to get Scapegoat O'Brien, who I set it up immediately and fused up, but I didn't really have a plan for what I wanted to do next on crew retrieval, because up to this point I had just been, either retrieving top voyage crew that had entered the portal since the last update that I didn't have, which is like Makbar Crusher, Breen Disguise Kira, Prisoner Kim, those kinds of crew, or stuff to get Scapegoat O'Brien. So past that, I really didn't have a plan. I didn't have options. It didn't feel like I had options. Or didn't have like I said, didn't have a plan. So this when the Caregiver collection came out, I was at 38 of 40, so I was only a couple away. So I did look, and it looks like the one I decided on was Executive Director Hugh, which had already picked up a couple of collections in the very recent past, and then also added this one, so that seemed like a good one. So I figured I would do that one, and then I suspect that at least one more Caregiver is going to come up in this Caregiver Mega. So just the one, and I was excited enough about that to get back on buying 50 Quantum per day, because I had stopped doing that because I didn't really have a plan for my retrievals. So yeah, it did change my plans. So thanks, Caregiver Collection. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
All right, there's your natural transition into the
yes. So
mega event.
Oh, are we going to talk about that now? Oh, okay. Well, I don't care anymore.
It's
okay.
Caregiver, right?
It is Caregiver Mega Event. And WRG, Ben is in chat now, so you
by the way, poll in
him.
chat.
Oh.
If you guys are worried about polls, this is a meta poll for all meta polls.
See if you can decipher the following blurred, no, sort of speckly diffused image is what WRG teased. I know there have been some theories going about this could be... The best theory I saw on the forums to who this could be was humanoid figure. No, ancient humanoid.
Who already
have.
exists in the game.
Which was
the bright lights in the forum.
Yeah. The lights are on, but nobody's home.
So my first thought was, if you guys ever played around in MS Paint, there's this like brush tool that creates these little dots. So I drew a picture of Wesley Crusher and
a fragrance,
and put it,
Fragrance, I love you. The ghost that Beverly bangs. Yes, they need to bring Ronan in.
Ronan Candleman. There's a bit.
Oh dear. I had to make her blurry.
Really big?
It.
You're doing the she bangs?
You're damn right I am.
That's like, what, 2008 American Idol reference, yes?
It is. Well, or Ricky Martin, if you want to go even further into the past. She bang! Your baby wants she move. Oh, man, I'm like four whiskeys in, and it is showing like nobody's business.
How you doing, Walt? You're right over there.
Don't know. I'm just reading what's going on in chat. It's, there was some.
Yes. Especially like this. It's obviously the guy that takes care of symbionts on Trill. I could see a Guardian sort of thing there. It could be interesting.
Ah, yeah.
So I think the Discord and I think the forums will now suss this out. So if you want to be surprised, cover your ears for the next 5 seconds. But it looks to be graduating Amanda Grayson. We have graduating Burnham. And in that, people have shared the still image of them facing each other, and she's holding, I think, Alice in Wonderland book. So I guess we're getting her for Caregiver, and if I'm any judge of skill sets, that's going to be the third dip primary mega crew in a row. So
yay!
If you guys don't, and returning through. So if you guys love dip, here you go.
We love dip.
You guys,
at least she's unlikely to get command dip sec, isn't she? Let's be honest. So that's one thing.
She's got to have med, right, for Caregiver and a mom, adoptive mom and everything.
Can you imagine if she has command dip sec?
But why would she have security?
That
makes no sense whatsoever.
At the end of the scene, she hands Burnham the book and then just punches her right in the face and says, "Grow up, you brat."
His hands are guns.
Security.
Do you guys remember? I mean, I don't know how much any of the chat frequents the forum, but there was a long running thing for quite a while how we never had a dip primary.
Oh God, I remember
mega
that.
crew.
We need more dip.
Yeah, it's like so crew like Timekeeper Tenovic and crew like it's like, oh, this is garbage. I still haven't gotten my dip primary mega crew. Anybody talking about that now? Because we're at 3 and possibly going on like 4 now. So are you not dip retained? I don't know. What's your portmanteau there?
I am sated for dip.
Yes.
I am dipped out.
You're all dipped out.
I'm more dipped than a sheep at a sheep dip.
Dip. Dude, it's that 60s do. Yeah, 60s doo-wop, like Blue Moon, dip, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Yes, Ben, I'll run you that poll as soon as this one is finished. For podcast listeners and Nifty Mittens, Janice wanted to know where the polls. 67% said, it is broken, make it go. 17% said WRG flavor text. 17% said McDonald's ice cream machine, which is also always broken.
I mean, I was hoping for option E. I don't have a big enough hat for that, but, we take what we have.
Walt, you have a bit of a game for us to play, don't you?
Yeah, I did a little bit of research. As I said to you guys, I didn't just want to be too much of a spare part, but that's not really worked, has it? So I had a look at some birthdays coming up, some alumni. I think one of the ones I looked at, there's likely to be some big crew. LeVar Burton, he's turning 65. He's got
wow, is it
8th
really?
of February. So
pull up in chat, by the way.
But there's a few others I've picked out, so there's got some landmark birthdays coming up. The first one, if people in chat know these, don't spoil it for the guys. So the first one is 6th of February. It's somebody who plays a character we do have a card of, but we have this actress. And there's a reason why we wouldn't have that. Big reason.
Wait, hold on. What? It's a character, but not the actress.
We have the character, but the actress whose birthday it is, as that character, we don't have that version.
Is it the actress that played the original T'Pau?
Oh, that's a good guess. Yeah, we have young T'Pau, but not.
Yeah, the actress that played the original T'Pau is like one of the few Star Trek actors born in like the 19th century. So she. Oh wow. So this person's still alive, quite a lot younger.
Oh, okay. So we're talking.
Okay.
But is it Amanda Grayson? Because we have Mia Kirshner and we also have I forget her name, Jane White or something.
Bit younger than that. So there's a reason why we don't get certain actors, because they're. I'll give you a clue. Kelvin universe.
Oh, is it Winona Ryder?
Wait, who does she
play?
She plays Kirk's mom, right?
No, she plays Amanda Grayson.
Yeah, she plays Grayson.
Amanda Grayson, yeah.
Oh.
Then Winona Ryder.
Hair. Oh, is it the one that plays Carol Marcus in the Kelvinverse?
It is Alice Eve. Yes.
Yeah.
Gratuitous underwear.
Yeah.
She's 40 apparently on the 6th of February.
40. Wow.
Will we get?
And I won't do. I won't do the one for the Big Show, who plays the Orion.
Oh yeah.
He's 50.
Oh wait, come on.
Nice.
Yeah.
Represent the giant.
He's 50 on the 8th of February.
Wow.
And then but the other one is probably a bit more easy to guess. Again, somebody whose birthday on Valentine's Day.
Oh, my daughter was born on Valentine's Day.
That's
But when I think romance, I think Kirk. So is it Shatner's birthday?
He'd be 91, wouldn't
he? Yeah, it's a big Trek crew. Probably gets a lot of love in all the forums and all the. So we do have this person in game.
Spock, Nimoy,
Ethan Peck.
No, wrong series. Nope. Wrong series.
Brent Spiner.
It's 9.
This isn't fair. You should have given us the answers before we started.
Well, I mean, do we know what
variant?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry. What'd you say?
Yeah, there's four. I think there's 4 or 5 variants. 9 character.
Ben in chat, sorry to interrupt. Ben in chat says, an exclusive for Timelines Talks viewers and listeners. We will have a special pack, I assume he means birthday pack, for LeVar Burton.
Yeah, 65.
So probably one of those 1500 dilithium for a guaranteed copy of one of 3 Geordie crew. That's pretty good.
Well, is it LeVar Burton then?
No, we had LeVar, but he was the first one he mentioned.
Oh, okay.
Keeping up as usual, baby.
Did I mention the 4 whiskeys? Because I feel like that bears repeating.
Hold on. Someone born on Valentine's Day.
No. Okay, no. Let's. I mean, we could, kind of 20 questions. This. I mean, can we narrow down a series that this?
Yeah, go away. Yeah, DS9.
DS9. Okay.
Gets a lot of love.
Are they?
Is it Quark? Is it Armin Shimmerman?
No. Okay.
Nods his head sadly. Okay. A lot of love. Not Aaron Eisenberg.
No. This actor's still with us, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We're still alive.
Quite a bit old, a bit older.
I'm quite sad that discounts 2 people from that
Is it
show.
Avery?
Yeah, that's. It can't be Avery Brooks. He's got 700 variants.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's the point. Who's only got 4 variants in the game?
Is it O'Brien? Is it Colmini?
He's got loads.
Noted Under Siege actor.
Noted Con Air actor. Colmini.
Wait, is it
not Colmini?
Chase Masterson?
Good guess.
No, he said.
Why can't I think of it?
For
Andrew Robinson. Is it Garrick?
Garrick.
Andrew Robinson.
Andrew Robinson.
Hey!
Got it.
You're very right. He's beloved.
Okay, for podcast listeners and Nifty Mittens, do we have enough animated series crew? 47% say more animated series, please. 37% ask, is this a test for Lower Decks crew? 16% say too much task. I think on balance, most people like the task crew, the bold art. We'll talk about Orion Captain later in the stream. The bold art is really cool, and a few of them have been quite usable, especially Spock and Ichai, the recent giveaways. So,
okay.
To be honest, I like seeing the tightrope walk element of it. It's like, because the art for animated series crew can just be so cool or so not cool.
Yeah, it ranges from Lara to everybody else.
Yeah, to
That's
hold on now.
Andrew Robinson will be 80.
80?
80 years old.
No way.
Who's 80?
Jeez.
I didn't hear that.
Garrick,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Everyone's too old. Stop aging. Don't leave us.
Guys, 1990 was only 10 years ago, right?
Yeah.
That's the common thing, isn't it?
All right. Since Ben dropped that nugget about the LaForge Behold, the current gold LaForges are Conditioned LaForge, Interfaced, Assimilated, Musketeer, Captain LaForge, and Lieutenant Commander LaForge. Any of those names jump out to you guys as someone you'd want to pull the pack
Take
for?
some more on Interfaced. No, yeah, Interfaced. I always get Interfaced and Conditioned confused. Interfaced, the one in the new suit, isn't he? From
I mean, I think those two are still the top 2 LaForge variants in terms of overall usability.
I do love the art on Musketeer LaForge, and he has a little bit of gauntlet use. So I think if I were a new player joining the game, that might be one that I would really be tempted by.
You know, don't want Commander LaForge?
Captain LaForge?
I mean,
he's stuck.
Yeah, I mean, isn't one of those the worst 3 skilled crew as far as voyage rank?
That would be.
Yeah, it's pretty dire. That's Lieutenant Commander, I think.
Guaranteed one of them is going to be
we could use a good Geordie. I think it's been a while. Interfaced was 2018 because I think he was an early skirmish reward, so we could definitely use a nice
Condition
meaty
as well when he came out. I remember that. That was kind of early days when I was playing.
Namer in chat points out Andrew Robinson was in his 50s when Alexander Siddig was in his 20s. So all you fan fiction people, you should be ashamed for all the stories you've written about those two.
Oh, they don't care.
I know.
Age ain't nothing but a number, baby.
Walt, you have
Neelix and Kez is allowed. Then...
That's true. Hey, she's turning 3 next year, so it's technically legal in the Delta Quadrant.
Let's move this along now. Walt, you have also brought some other gifts for us this week, and I'm gonna cut these fools off before we get weird, and we're gonna run back a modern classic.
Oh no!
It's lunchtime.
No, I took that more as like, like the spray bottle.
But before the boys chow down, I said I'm not buying another Mother Hotter. They have some serious flipping to do. Yes, hello, Taco Shack. And they managed to turn this lovely colonial constellation, the tacos just arrived, into a tidy profit. Want I some lower? Of course. Why does everyone think I'm such a monster? I shan't be ordering the enchiladas again, I can tell you. Otto, you can at least stand downwind of us. Well then, here's for retrieval. Timeline Talks Love It or List It. Wednesday at 3:30 on Channel 4.
Yeah, while these fools are ruining the stream, well, you've brought us some constellations.
I like how you cut off Otto to play more Otto as a pre-roll. That's great.
Seamless. No wonder I had to stop that. Yes, you've brought us some constellations for Love It or List It. So, guys, let's go through this. And these are from... You are going to be opening or listing these as we decide them, aren't we, Walt? So, shall we have a look at your first one?
I will be, yeah.
Yep. So
live consequences. I love it.
Chat, you will decide, maybe, if he decides. He's going to follow it. So our first constellation, Executive Director Hugh. This is one for you, Big. Contains one of the 6 following pole stars. Civilian, Federation, Cyberneticist, Caregiver, Borg, Cultural Figure. Will you love this or will you list it?
Love it all day long. Come on. I mean, really only Federation is the only like true zonk. I mean, Civilian not great either, but all the rest of those are wins.
Our Caregiver pole star is going through the roof this month.
Stocks are up.
Yep. I mean, they should have been anyway, because there are already crew like Makbar Crusher and Prisoner Kim that need the Caregiver pole star for the optimal retrievals. So yeah, they already should have been expensive, but not to try and shift the market on them or anything, but yeah.
Insider trading. Let's go.
Big is sitting on a Scrooge McDuck pile of Caregiver pole stars, and he's just swimming at them, waiting to sell
You laugh. I was literally doing that with High Command pole stars when it first started.
Yeah. Don't tell me how to live my life.
Okay. I'm seeing a lot of love from here.
I was supposed to be polling these, weren't I?
I was wondering where it was, but hey.
All right, next one. I'll get the next one.
All right, what are you loving it, or Walt? What are you gonna get it?
I think chat says love it.
Yeah, everyone says love, so let's see what I get. What do I?
Don't forget to hold up your maximum production value.
Oh, look at that! What you get?
Cultural figure. That's not bad.
I'll sell.
Not bad.
Okay, next constellation. Control Leland contains one of the following 6. Section 31, Undercover Operative, Crafty, Control, Brutal, or Human. Not too many stingers there either, I don't think. Brutal and Human are
crap.
All right, folks, pay attention in Twitch chat. I'm going to be running 1-minute polls for each of these. Control Leland, love it or list it.
No, I mean, I would say fully 50% of those are junk. Human, Brutal, and Crafty are pretty common pole stars. So if it's a 50-50, I lean more towards list it myself. But I mean, Undercover Operative is great. Control is great if you want to retrieve specifically Control Leland, which you might. But with the influx of Command Dipsec crew, I think Control Leland is looking less and less attractive as a retrieval option as time goes on.
There's also Compromised Arium, who I think has some nice collection traits. Does, yeah. But even if the crew is bad, people just like these really exclusive pole stars. Not everyone checks for all the permutations. They just say, "Oh, they have a really rare trait. I can use that to easily retrieve them," and then they go pay a lot. So.
I have sold multiple Efrosian pole stars for
rigatoni,
an amount of money that I dare not say.
Who
but
is telling us that they sold Romatis 3 native, which you can only get one super rare crew for something for stupid ISM cost, like in the thousands? I was like, why?
Yeah. I think people love those one-shot buys where it's just a single Polestar, a single crew. They just love it. I don't know. I don't get it.
All right, Walt. Chat loves it, so you are honor bound to open it for us.
Let's see what I get.
Come on, undercover operative.
Oh, it's Control.
That's okay.
Oh, that's a win.
Hey.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah. I would think about selling that Polestar because I think you would probably get a pretty decent price for that.
Which you can buy. ISM can be used to buy many Polestars. Explain how. Right, number 3.
Used to buy goods and services.
Yes. Cristobal Rios, human pilot, survivalist, resourceful, casual, Federation, civilian, scoundrel. Oof,
all right, pulls up in chat.
List it.
I'm sorry I don't have the accent over his name, but I only have English and German on my keyboard, so if there's a crew with an umlaut, I'm your guy.
I think this is a risky one. There's a lot of very common polls in this.
Yeah, this seems like a list to me.
Resourceful, civilian, human Federation are all pretty common.
Pilot's decent, but you can buy that.
Pilot and survivalist seem like the only moderate wins, and even those, they only seem like moderate wins. Pilot, it's kind of still hot right now because pilot will help you retrieve diversion Yates, which will help you retrieve help you get scapegoat O'Brien.
Yeah, you can get Braxton with the pilot as well, and I think Scoundrel, you can get Sinister Picard, I think.
Sure.
Picard,
yeah.
Scoundrel. So it's not all garbage, but it's saying to list it, so I'll be listing that shortly.
Yep. Okay, next
for 1 million ISM.
You say that. Satin dress Lily Sloan, human civilian undercover operative, desperate communicator, crafty, resourceful, costumed. This is an interesting one. You've got some collection value in there. I'm just going to have a quick look, see what the rate is on communicator at the moment, because some of these are.
I'm going to guess 4,000 ISM.
When the market loads, hang on.
It's those,
$1, Bob.
I've purposely not shared a lot of human Starfleet Federation crew, but with even here with a load of collections, a load of polls. She's got human, which obviously is garbage. Desperate, which is limited use or no use. Crafty, resourceful, communicator. Yeah,
you can buy a communicator Polestar right now for 1,790 ISM. So like some of these are just dirt cheap anyway. So I'd say this is a list.
Poll up in chat.
Poll for poll. Satin dress Lily Stone's an interesting card though. She's someone that she sort of sits like in the communicator in the collection and kind of vague voyage utility sort of barrier, doesn't she?
Well, and voyage calculators love her because she hits on a couple of traits. She ends up getting outmoded by Scapegoat O'Brien if you have both of those crew, but if you don't have Scapegoat, then
at this point, a lot of these big bloated traits, desperate, resourceful, whatever, they're like 50 ISM more than Human Federation Starfleet. And at that point, you may as well just buy it outright. So if they have those kind of combinations you can pull, then
sell. I think that's going to be a sell.
Yeah, I think Chad is very much listed.
Okay, 2 more to go. This one, Lieutenant Alex Naeth, Constellation. Edosian, Starfleet Federation musician. Pilot, explorer, astrophysicist. Explorer's nice, pilot's nice. Don't know about musician.
I've got to check the value of Edosian, by the way.
Yeah, that was exactly where I was going to go, is that, it's another one of those one-shots that you might be able to extort for an exorbitant rate. On a resale situation.
Name it. If you're listening, can you make me a market ticker that I can just run at the bottom of all of these that just gets live?
So
Yeah, Saboteur Garrick is on the 15-day disabled list.
The cheapest Adosian Polestar is 25,000 ISM.
But who's buying
it?
Who's buying a Dozy?
Does it matter? Does it matter who's buying it? Somebody's buying it.
You know, I've been watching a lot of, because they've been printing a lot of animated series. I've been watching a lot of animated series, and Eric's is actually in a lot of those episodes, so they could definitely, if they wanted to do a pull on another variant or two, they could definitely do that. Not saying go spend 30,000 ISM on a frozen Polestar, but you know, if you were to, or a Dosian.
There's a Dosian in Lower Decks, wasn't there? Series 1?
There was actually, yes.
Is that
it was Series 2. He was the
whatever it was.
Yeah, they can't.
I'm sorry, I should be polling these, shouldn't I?
That's fine.
Dude, this one is 8.3% by volume, so give me a break, folks.
Dang, that's almost Imperial.
You're
getting there.
Yeah, I've got a few Imperial stouts sitting in there. Just
the fact that I can correctly spell these polls at all is a testament to my... All right, folks, poll up in chat for Eric Snaith.
I thought we'd lost chat. They were talking about scanning. So.
Yes.
Yes. Right. I'm putting my thumb on the scale for this one.
Ooh,
I'm voting.
I think I'd love it just to see if you get a Dosian. But I think decent.
Yeah, anytime there's a super rare trait, you know, take the gamble. Why not?
And get Federation. I swear to God, they have weighted it so that Starfleet Federation Human are like half the pie chart in the distribution for those Polestars. Like they are, you were just bound to hit them. I would put money on it.
I did get a Krenim last week, so maybe there's a little hope.
That's cream.
Well, it is Krenim season. The Krenim is really great this time of the year.
It's blooming especially nicely with the atmosphere.
The blooming Krenim.
Oh,
Walt is like, I could have been taking a nap right now. What are you guys doing to me? Okay. Looks like chat loves Eric's.
Love it.
They love it.
Love it.
Explorer.
Hey, that's pretty good.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
That's okay.
That's pretty good.
Final.
Got a lot of options there.
R-Star Tucker, Human, Starfleet, Jury Rigger.
Poop question?
Sir?
Poop question, sir?
Hang on. No, wait. You got it properly.
A poop question, sir?
There you go. Not Star Tucker. Human, Starfleet, Jury Rigger, Marksman, Costumed Romantic Gambler. This is...
Pull up in chat, folks.
I feel like you need to love it just for the chance of getting the Marksman poll, just for Star's EV suit Worf retrieval purposes.
That's a very tenuous string of coincidences.
That
I specifically
tenuous is our
down
business.
A Marksman one, so I could retrieve Worf. Exactly. I actually went over after that myself, so I'm not desperate for that Polestar, but I can see why the people might like it.
Just diversion. Fragrance Tree Vaseline chat says, I've got Catcher McCoy Constellation. I feel this one isn't very good. I think Catcher McCoy he's got a load of traits, hasn't he? I believe.
Well, let me take a look.
Have a look, because I think that's cards that aren't good.
Starfleet, Federation, Human, which are bad, Desperate, not good, and then Physician and Vulcan.
Yeah, that's
like 2/3 kind of flotsam, as Q would say. I would probably list that one.
That's poop pee.
Hey, Big Nose's roll, he stays in his lane.
Poop pee.
That's right.
Okay, a lot of people say
I love it. That's my enduring contribution to this show, and I'm okay with it.
Oh dear. Right. Yeah, definitely that's a listed. Okay. Where should we go, Otto? You deem the next chapter in this saga of the episode 61.
Let's head back to that campaign that we skipped over.
Let's do it.
Now that there's no segue possible.
No. Okay, so the campaign that will be starting tomorrow or the next day, not long now, will be a party-themed collection for January, even though we're past New Year now, but hey, whatever. We also passed Christmas for a Tribble Snowy Avatar, but okay, fine, whatever. Wonderland Tilly is the gold you can get for purchasing the campaign. Command Engineering Dip, she was a Tuesday pack not too long ago. She's not in the
Starting with the more exciting of the two crew.
Of course, you've got to build up to things. This is how you do. You start with you start with the legend. But Tilly, there are a lot of Tilly fans out there. I know people have been very excited to see the various variants coming out. But guys, tell us about the Voyage rank. She's not dropped too far, but she's in that top 100, tier 6. Is this something worth investing?
Tilly knows she has a lot to learn, but she's determined to become a captain someday.
Cool.
So here's the thing. I'm looking at the collection section on bigbook.app. Folks, go there. It's fantastic. No collections. One possible potential collection in the casual trade. Like, okay, if WRG releases a theoretical engineer trait next week, then we know they're about to shut down. Like, they're taking all the cash they can from folks.
That's going to be like 80% Tilly's at this point.
Yeah. It's Crenham and it's Tilly, and that's it. Okay, she's an okay Voyager. By raw score, she's 82. So when you have like no traits to speak of, Federation Starfleet human, there's a ton of competition there. This is one of those crew that we used to meme about. Just retrieve Braxton, because he's the same skill set, but like better. So, not quite the same skill set. I don't know. Tilly has not gotten a lot of events. They ended the Discovery Megas, and she's had 3 events in 5 years.
I'm pretty sure all Tilly, 90% of Tilly variants that have come out have either been Tuesday packs or Science of a Tilly a couple of campaigns ago was a campaign. Like, they've not... I think Cadet Tilly and the Colony Tilly are the only 2 that I can remember being actual event pieces.
So it's
well,
just... Yeah.
Well, I was just.
No, you.
No, you.
Okay. Let's.
Yeah.
Tell you what, I drink, you talk. That's teamwork, baby.
Well, no, honestly, what I was going to do is I was going to toss it to Walt. I mean, what do you think about Wonderland Tilly? Does she do anything for you? What do you think?
No, she does very little for me. I kind of looked at it when it was announced. I was like, oh, okay, it was like, all right, well, if I got her, fine, but it's not a card I'll be hunting, as you say, there's no collection value, events unlikely to go anywhere. You say, she's not exactly Braxton, but commanding dip, there's not a lot of meat there for me. Not over the moon.
Well, I mean, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I mean, are you a regular campaign buyer, or?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, I certainly in the last year or so, I have been very much. Even sometimes I've been looking at it again. Yeah, no, I won't bother. And then, like a week or 2 before it ends, I'm like, oh, I'll just buy that, because the thing it's as we said before, it's not just the legendary you get, it's all the other stuff you get, it's the sites, and all the packs and stuff you get out of it. So there's so much value in a campaign. I'm probably going to end up getting her, but she's gonna, I don't think I've got her yet. So she'll sit at 4 or 5, waiting for another one to drop. She'll be so far down my site list.
It'll be like Otto said with the collections, there's nothing much. Most Tillys have the same set of traits. They're all theoretical engineers. There's not a lot on her cards that deem a collection, which is a shame, but it is what it is. However,
I think it's one of those characters that are, as much as we love her in universe, actually in Disco, it doesn't translate to any great cards.
It's so weird too, because like she has such an outsized presence on Discovery. If you watch it, of course Burnham is the star of the show, but you walk away thinking Saru, Tilly, and then maybe some of the supporting characters. I know Stamets has a lot of fans, and I hate being self-referential, but Look, the site is up. We put in the work. I'm going to use it, damn it. If you go by tiers, she has 3 purple crew, tier 9, 8, and 7. She has 4 gold crew, tier 5, 6, 7, and 10. So it's like she was never really given. The best she was ever given was Captain Killy years ago, who she was like the prototypical arena crew. She could do it all. You use her every day in arena, use her in all the skirmishes, and now there's other options where you don't necessarily need her. So there's just like Walt said, she's so trait light. They all have theoretical engineer, and then maybe if they're lucky, they get casual. Like, I don't know. I feel like she's been in so many episodes, she has a lot more potential than what they're giving her. And even though I'm not the biggest Disco or Tilly fan, she's such an integral part of Disco. I'd like to see her get at least one high power option. Right?
You want good representation from the cards you like. You know, there's good Burnhams, there's good Sarus, I think there's some good Stamets out there, but there's not really a powerhouse great Tilly other than Killy. And she's not even a real, well, no, she is real Tilly. She's prime Tilly, Bink. Yeah, anyway. Speaking of, sorry, Bink, go on.
Well, I was going to say, was that ever established that was actually Killy, or that
was prime Tilly, because that card came out before season 3. They could still bring in real Killy into the game, which would be great.
Yep.
Very much like that. Moving on, the giveaway card. Hey guys, how much do you like Tuesday packs and splurging tons of money on them for super rare cards? Because I'd imagine there's quite a few people out there, and WRG does have a little habit of doing this and saying, "Hey,
this is the." I don't want to offend Ben here, but this is the you know, to all the people that spent the most money on Tuesday packs, this is like the middle finger campaign. Because
but for everyone else, this is fantastic. This is your road to scapegoat. This is WRG have basically given away the best super rare card in the game, because that he is statistically, but it is the road to scapegoat. Everyone that didn't take a shot on that Tuesday pack can now use retrieval and finish that collection. It's opened a lot of doors for people. So as much as those of us that did kind of go, oh shit, he's not going to be in the portal for another couple of years, did splurge and try and get the go, it's nice for everyone else. So this is a good thing for everyone else, but it does feel like a kind of like, oh, we're doing something good, here we go. I do half wonder if they kind of and I think I can't remember who it was that did the theory. I didn't come up with it. They said, right, we need a party theme pack, let's just put Tilly and Odo in without actually thinking about what they were doing.
Together with Nog, Odo steals the money from the safe in the count room of Frankie's casino. Okay, now obviously the most important thing about this card is he's standing next to the bag, but the bag is made from Odo. He like congealed it from his hand. So if he sets the bag down, doesn't that revert to a gelatinous state?
You can't see his foot. He's still connected.
His foot, yeah.
You guys are such apologists for WRG. I can't believe it. All right, Walt, floor is yours. Is Bagman Odo a plus or a minus for you?
It would be a massive plus for me if I didn't already have him 4/4. So you know, I was like you guys. I bought him when the packs came out. I went for him. I got him, and he's one of the few purples that sits in my crew roster unfrozen. He's got some good gauntlet stuff there. One of the few pleasures in the game is getting those purples in gauntlet and smashing the hell out of some big hitting golds. And you know, Odo, Marshal of France Q, Doc Crusher, Nurse Faith Garland, people like that, and obviously Mirror Flox. Flox again. It's you know, regular gauntlet crew for me. I really enjoy just doing that. You know, you go in there with the walls of Red Angels, walls of Ballox and Kalis and all these cards, and you go, actually, no, I'm just going to knock the snot out of you with my 45%. You know, so yeah, absolutely. You know, I'm a little way off getting get goat yet. I've got to get Decoy Kira, and I've got to finish both Cisco and Yates. So I'm a little way off there yet, but yeah, as you said, you know, anyone who's missed Odo before, absolutely get him. He's good as a blooming rare card anyway. Look at that, he's got 3 collections, ticks some boxes for costumes, maybe not so much the criminal collection. You know, there's, again, costumes. There's plenty of those crew around, but he's one of the sort of better ones you could be aiming for to help cover tier there. Yeah, win. As far as I'm concerned, you know, I'm not going to complain. You know, we got him, but you know, other people getting him, great.
So the responses in chat have ranged from yes, he gives me the goat, to it took me 17 packs pulling for this purple crew in a 6-pack.
This is
It's definitely a polarizing choice because a lot of people are going to love unlocking the path to a good crew and Scapegoat O'Brien, but a lot of people also chase. I mean, this is the same thing with Reunion Spock and Kirk. If you dropped, I know a few people dropped like 20 packs trying to get Reunion Anxious Kirk to make the fusion crew. For those people, it's like a gut punch. Like they're thinking, why would I ever want to spend on a Tuesday pack again? On the other hand, I mean, it's nice for low spenders or non-spenders to get this. This is a free unlock from a campaign track. So even VIP 0 players are going to have their chance at Scapegoat O'Brien, which is very important. I want to run down quickly just his game utility. I'm sure you guys will talk about your own personal Scapegoat experiences. He already has triple collections. Bada bing, bada bang, because you get a strong crew at the end is kind of equivalent to a stat booster on its own. He also has 6 untapped traits, so if he ends up with 7, 8, 9 collections, that wouldn't be a surprise. And like Walt said, the gauntlet for purple, he's very good. At 45%, I mean, he's like a top 10 name in that gauntlet. You can take him instead of Kalis or instead of Baylock. He really does have that kind of power, and he has a lot of 25% sets as well. So he's more of a gauntlet crew, but that great trait list, I think we'll see his value only rise over time because he's going to add more and more collections.
Well, I mean, once you get over the personal injury of whatever you spent to get Bagman Odo initially, if you decided that was something that was worth pursuing right when he was in a Tuesday pack, it's only a net positive for the player base as a whole. I mean, the game itself is better off by everyone having access to a crew that unlocks so many things like Bagman Odo does. And I think, wasn't Heist Bashir also a campaign card in the past?
Was he? Because we just had Rise of Bashir.
Yeah, I think it was Rise and not Heist.
Maybe
I was thinking about Rise. But yeah, just having more of these things in the hands of more players is always going to be a good thing, even if, we as players being impatient and wanting them right away, and as soon as we see them, oh, I got to have it. And then feeling ripped off later on because it's been made available to more players. I think it's ultimately a good thing if we can look past our own personal it having. I
think for me, the way I look at it is that we all want the good cards. I'll say that. Anyone with half a brain wants the good cards. Other people having that card doesn't take away what you have. You're not losing out by other people having it. And yeah, sometimes I can imagine people are, people that busted their gut, say for Reunion Spock and Kirk, get to that to do all the fusing, to get the Kirk, to get the Spock, fuse it all up to get some great cards. I can see how there was a little bit of when they had those cards in the elusive treasure packs as the fusion card. I can see that people weren't happy, but it's not hurting you. It's only hurting you because you feel it's that there's a saying, isn't it? It's not enough that you succeed, others must fail. And if you can just get over that, and if I'm upsetting people in chat here, then fine, so be it. Send me that.
You're too altruistic, Walt. You're too nice, damn it.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm the hell up for 2 minutes. For
WRG does no wrong.
No, but no one way. I'm a firm believer. I'm a subscriber to the mantra. There's no right way to play this game. Play the game, enjoy the flipping game. If you're not enjoying it, then fucking do something else, because if it's making you bitter, if this say Bagman Odo is someone's really getting bitter and upset about it, then where are you? Where's your soul, man? Let's just be happy with what you've got. You know, people like me and Idle with our 12-hour voyages. You know, we're happy, aren't we, Idle? We'd like more, of course, but, you know.
So I think it's an important point that Shy Porn made in chat. You chase Tuesday Crew to be a first adopter, not for exclusivity. They've shown time and time again, EV2 Wharf or whatever, they're probably going to make these crew $10 LTOs before too long. Yeah. So, like, I think we all saw my pain a few weeks ago when I spent 55 packs for Fenton Picard, and you know what? If he's a $10 LTO next week, I can't be too sad because I knew they were going to do it anyway. So we
get no pleasure at there's no pleasure at watching someone else because we've been there in one way. Most of us have been there in one way, shape, or form. We saw yours recently, Auto. We saw Stars trying to go for a Wharf last year. And it's painful watching, we're like, and it's like, there's no fun in your pain. I don't enjoy watching you guys. I enjoy suffer.
You should. We recorded it just so people could revel in our misery. That was the whole point.
It's like Shy says, there's some pleasure. There's a small amount of pleasure.
In some ways, it's a cautionary tale. It's like, don't do what we do. We're idiots. Don't do what we do.
A wonderful tangent.
Every week, Idle says. Every week, Idle is like, no, I hate galaxies, and don't do 6-packs. And then next day, yeah, I'm ranking in the galaxy. Yeah, I'm opening six packs.
No, my pain with galaxies is I picked the wrong ones to do it in. Well, I picked the right ones, but then I suddenly think, I'm just going to go for top 750. I'm just going to go for top 100. Oh shit, I'm 20. Well, I might as well try and stick a 30. And then by Monday morning, I'm like, oh fuck, I better stay in 30. Shit.
Right, let me talk. Let me talk briefly to a subset of players because I saw this one in Discord today. Someone said, "All right, I need 7 stars on these Bada Bing golds in order to unlock Scapegoat O'Brien, and then I need another 4 stars to immortalize him." Because Ben came on the show and said, "You are safe to cite Scapegoat O'Brien. We're not going to add any other crew to that collection. Once you unlock the first copy, you're safe." So, if say you're a low spending player and you're happy to see this campaign, obviously you get Bagman Odo. Let's say you only have the golds to go. How many stars are you guys personally willing to put on these kind of bland command? Right, you need 3 command set crew golds. You got to finish them to get to Bagman Odo. Is he really that good? Are you guys spending your retrievals, your sites to try to get to him? Or are you just going to let that collection kind of finish itself?
It's been a retrieval target for me. Yeah, I haven't put sights on it because using sights on people like Diversion Yates, it feels wrong to do that. But then there is retrieval, which is a good option. So I've been doing the retrieval my daily speed ups and I've been doing that way, and that's been a great way to approach it because I'm not. And someone asked me about this the other day, like, what are you using sights for now? I'm thinking like, well, actually, it's good to hold on to them for mega crew if they're particularly decent, or for the 4 or 5 gig rate, like returning Saru recently. So it's changed, sort of like retrievals changed how we look at sighting crew, or like people like Ogawa, I put the sights on straight away, because it's such a knockout event crew that I got a decent amount for. So I think I haven't put sights on just for the collection, but it has been a longer term project.
Yeah, I will say that I was lucky. I feel like I was lucky in that the only thing that I needed to finish that collection was doing Diversion Yates from scratch. I had everything else done.
Everyone's last option, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, but just on her own merits, she's a really crappy crew. Like, she really doesn't have anything going for her. So yeah, the answer to Otto's question from my perspective is 5. Yeah, I would retrieve 5 stars, Diversion Yates, and that's it. And more than that, I might have had more to think about. But I feel like Scapegoat O'Brien on his for his ability is worth making that much of an investment. So much so that I just did.
Now, keep in mind that Scapegoat O'Brien is the same skill set as Dahj On The Run, who we're getting pretty cheap from an event this week. So if you don't, if you're not one to go chase that collection carrot, you can take some solace in that this is a kind of similar crew. I mean, she's not quite as powerful as he is, but, considering you have to chase a lot of Command Obsec crew to get to him, this is really not a bad consolation prize.
Speaking of Tuesday crews, we're coming to a close for the show. We've still got some Timelines Talks Originals to show off. Thank you, Auto, for promoting that.
Fake crew!
No, I'm using our official branding, which is trademark, patent pending. A Tuesday card that has just come out this week is the very TAS card, animated series, Orion Captain, Criminal Minds' very own Command Dip Sec crew, voyage rank number 327. Guys, how much do you like Taz? Auto, you watched this episode.
I watched this episode today when it came out. This is reminiscent of Lara, who we covered on the show. She was a gauntlet banger, really great stats, but awful, absolutely awful elsewhere, like Voyage 350. She was like the worst Voyager ever released, also Command Obsec. He's not quite at that level. But, if you're a new player and you're joining the game and you want to have a little bit of fun, you grab him from this pack. He's okay in Gauntlet. He's okay on ships, triggerless, 400% damage. That's not bad. I've also seen, veteran players say, oh, he's garbage, I'll never use him. And that's fine, but you got to have kind of different crew to cater to all sorts of different players. So he's okay in Gauntlet. He's not going to get these huge crit sets like Balak will, but at 25%, you could use him. You can use him in Arena as well. So kind of that Power Rangers art might grab you when you're looking at his pack. And if you decide to pull him, it's not the end of the world because he has a little bit of value there. But overall, he's not a particularly strong card, no.
I mean, he's the first one to start adding to your Thundercats bridge. Right? That's...
Thank you, General. It is Captain Planet.
Yeah, this is. There's not a lot here. No. I had no interest in dipping into this 6-pack. I mean, yeah, the Gauntlet is okay, but we've had a couple of Gauntlet crew. It's like if you went for Prophet Kira, parts like that, you're really
Bagman Odo.
Yeah, Bagman Odo, the one you're going to get ostensibly for free over this campaign. It's just, I mean, this is for the Taz lovers. This is for the
all 6 of them.
Lovers of various shades of green. That's which also it's like, he's supposed to be Orion, but that doesn't look particularly green as far as like a flesh tone goes. That doesn't really.
He's wearing a face mask. The rest of him's naked.
Oh, is it? Oh, gotcha.
Under the guise of returning a Strobolin stolen from the USS Huron, the captain is planning something far more dangerous.
A Strobolin.
By the way,
what's a Strobolin? You may be asking yourself. Does anybody? I mean, is it an Italian pastry? I don't know.
Hey, pass me
returning
the
a linguine.
Hey.
So I watched this episode today because the crew just came out. They call them they're called Orions, right? In Enterprise, in whatever Voyager, they're called Orions. In TAS, they call them Orions.
Is that Shatner though? Like it's
they refer to themselves as Orions, and I was wondering if they're like an offshoot of the Orions, like they're a different race, or if they're
no, darling, we're just the Orions, not the Orions. Is right.
Is that
Orions,
like the where they would call them Klingons?
Klingons, yeah. Dude, TAS was wild.
It's a Klingot.
So yeah,
A Klingon.
So the quick synopsis of this episode is there's this virus going around, of course, and it's only fatal like to Vulcans. So Spock gets it, and he's on the verge of death. And they go to try to find the strobolin, this miracle drug to cure Spock, but the Orions have stolen it from the Federation. So Kirk and the Orions have this face-off. They try to negotiate for the drug. It's like the worst dialogue ever. And the Orions agree to like beam down to this planet to give him the drug, but only if Kirk beams down alone, and their plan is to blow up the entire asteroid belt and themselves and the Enterprise to maintain neutrality for the Orions. Like, it's a completely nonsensical plot. But, you know, they did...
Stark, not a great man, .gif.
They did a decent job of giving this guy a few traits. So, you know, in a year and a half, maybe you're looking at him in Retrieval and thinking, you know, maybe he satisfies 3 or 4 collections. So they at least did that for him. But for someone who only gets, you know, a few minutes of screen time, it is what it is. I still think secretly this is an art test for Lower Decks. I know Ben came on and said we're making progress toward that license. I hope they get it soon because a lot of players really want to see Lower Decks. Walt, are you? Did you ever get in a task? Because I never watched it as a kid, but now that they're releasing this crew, I go back and watch a little bit.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I've started. I looked at it. Oh, it's on Netflix, and I was like, oh, I've got something else I'm to watch instead. I know they're sort of short episodes. I'm struggling to sort of get the motivation to watch it. To be fair, and I'm you know again not sort of excited by this crew. Yeah, if you get a star on him, again, he might do you some favors in Gauntlet, but can't see that many people are going to hunting for him. Maybe I'm wrong.
If someone does spend 55 packs trying to get him, what are you doing? Timeline Talks does not endorse this product.
What are you talking about? Yeah.
Okay. We have final thing for this week before we'll let you all go about your business.
By the way, Evans of Wales, if you're watching, I know it's been like 4 months since we did the timeline showdown, but I swear we haven't forgotten.
We are so terrible
it's coming
with
up
showdown.
soon.
We are so bad at it. We started it. It takes
Dude,
like about 6 months.
Things keep happening. They do portal updates. We have a big book release. They have the holidays. It just, you know.
Anyway, but we can do.
I mean, I was gonna say just do the intro music. That's the real.
Shall I do
use of that
showdown
whole
into
thing.
Fake Crew? No, we'll save it.
Yeah.
We'll save it for when we need it. It's a premium product. But by the way, Otto, you have given us some thematical Fake Crew this week. Please talk us through why you've chosen these crews, starting with Elogium Kess.
These are all from the wonderfully twisted yet salient mind of Walt Koenig. He had submitted these on the Timeless Talks Discord in the past, which you guys can go on there. We'll write up these fake crew for you and probably give them far more traits than WRG would. So, Elogium Kess, or as we referred to it previously, Sweaty Puberty Kess. This is the episode where she's going through puberty and she only has one shot to conceive, and so she tries to talk Neelix into it. And made her a super rare. The whole theme with Kess is she has these really weird variants, like Fury Kess and Grandma Kess. They have great skill sets, but not a lot of power, and they have a lot of interesting traits. So I went back and watched the episode or movie for all of these, and she has some kind of strange niche traits. Ocampa, which I doubt will ever be anything because she's kind of the only representation we have of that. But Prodigy is consistent with her variants. Romantic, because as much as we hated that storyline, she's trying to talk Neelix into conceiving with her. And I went for the gusto with her arena ability, where she says, "My body lacks dirt," because she's going through puberty and she needs essential minerals.
Was this the one where she's eating everything at the hydroponics?
Yeah, she's eating dirt. She's eating bugs, because that's like the Ocampan drive. So I made her a super rare because she's not all that titillating, but Psi Med Dip, I think Psi primary for her going through this process, and Doc having to learn about that for Voyager is kind of interesting. So she would kind of be a filler card, but we're kind of running out of cast variants, and I really do like what Jennifer Lean did with that, especially in late season 2, early season 3, before she got replaced. I wish she would have stayed on for the whole run, because I kind of liked the Kes character and her interplay with Doc.
Yeah, she. To say, as ridiculous as the premise of the compa is, I think she had a bit to work with. The sort of one where she was Tyrion, was it? The the warlord dude.
Kind of her finest acting work, I think.
Give her something to work with. Yeah, something different to work with, didn't it? And yeah, a bit like poor old Neelix. After like the first couple of seasons, it's like, okay, well, what else can we do with this character? They're kind of the functions are sort of going nowhere here.
Okay, here we go. Showdown: Tyrion possessed Kes versus Vantika Bashir.
Dude, Jennifer Lane actually did good in Warlord.
Yeah,
like she did a good job. Ray Vantika literally put me off Alexander Siddig for the next 5 seasons. It wasn't until like season 7 that I finally got back on board with what he was doing with Bashir. That was bad Star Trek.
Okay, moving on. Azet Burr. I noticed you didn't put Chancellor Azet Burr in this, just Azet Burr.
Okay, first of all, a big shout out to Starzo Garters, who is no longer with us. Rest in peace. I love you, buddy. You've done so much for the show.
We will miss you dearly.
Now that you're dead, I've had to take up the mantle of running this fake crew. I don't do such a good job. But this is This is from the Undiscovered Country movie. This is in the. There are so many. If you go on Retrieval right now, and you plug in Klingon, diplomat, cultural figure, you're going to get like 8 crew that are identical. And I couldn't escape it for this one either. Walt requested that Azet Burr took over from Gorkon in the Undiscovered Country after he was murdered, and at first she told Chang, I'm going to kill Kirk, because she thought he was responsible for it. So that's where the brutal comes from. She was a little bit hostile toward him. But at the end of the day, she was, a diplomat that brought both sides to the table and helped smooth things over between the Klingons and the humans. So she's going to kind of be a stock standard Klingon politician, culture figure type thing, which we have a lot of already, but that's kind of what her role calls for in the movie. So I gave her the arena ability. Worf's obsolete, because you could maybe squeeze in the Maverick trait, because she tries to bring her people out of the constant infighting and try to elevate them a little bit, but Klingons being what they are will probably never escape that. Walt, talk to me about it, because these are all Walt Koenig suggestions, so tell me why you wanted these crew.
Well, as I said earlier, the Star Trek movies sort of filled a sort of bit of gap there in that sort of time when there wasn't a lot of Trek available. I mean, obviously, Undiscovered Country was, I want to say, 1990. I'm not terrible with years like that. But so it's obviously when.
It was
obviously once.
94. It was like right at the end of.
No, 94 was Generations.
Oh no! Yeah, you're right.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
So, but I think there's a lot of good things about them movies, and we've already got a lot of characters in cards in game from Undiscovered Country. I think there's 14 or something stupid like 12, 14. Including West, who ridiculous sec base and very little role in the cut that we get in the cinemas. But Azet Burr, she's a pivotal part in the film. It's hard to get away from those skill base though. Really, it's every as you say, order. Every Klingon Chancellor gets Command Dipsec. They get the standard traits. So, yep, just she could be on the Rolodex of Klingon Chancellors. So in your 10% retrieval chance.
So in true WRG fashion, I left off the word Chancellor because we'll just call her by her name, and that's good enough. So.
Yeah, because to be fair, that could be Azet before or after she becomes Chancellor.
That's true.
Well, I mean, and no matter what else you want to say about it, that headgear is legit. That
chainmail headpiece.
Never...
Yeah, I try to pick an image that I thought was...
Does it for me?
Not to borrow Stars and Gardeism, it wasn't necessarily evocative, but it was kind of... It was provocative, let's say.
All right, moving on. We only got a smaller Lek.
Okay, this one we could spend a while on. I think it was Flash earlier today in our Discord, and we were talking about, they've basically stopped printing 2-skill golds because they are garbage at it. They print these 2-skill crew that nobody wants, and so pack sales are down or engagement is down, and they're like, oh, we'll just stop printing them. Hold on a second. You made Mirror Phlox, who as a purple is still great and usable today, so you guys can do it. You just don't want to. So I put a little extra effort into Lek here. This is from the DS9 episode, The Magnificent Ferengi. If you remember that one, Quark and Rom puts together this all-star team of Ferengi to go save Moogie from the Dominion. And they beam aboard, I think it's Terok Nor or one of these DS9 type stations. And they try to negotiate to get her back. And so he is the... Quark warns Rom, he says, this is not like any Ferengi you've dealt with before. This guy doesn't care about profit. He only cares about killing people. He is, quote, an eliminator. So there's a lot of cool traits there. A brutal maverick, obviously doesn't fit the mold of Ferengi. Marksman, hunter, criminal, scoundrel. This guy's very trait-rich and deservedly so. So what I tried to do, obviously Adge and Simet are kind of off the table because of what he does. He's also not very diplomatic. I think they run a simulation... So they try to rescue Moogie from the Dominion, but before they do, they run a simulation of it to make sure everyone knows what their role is. And he ends up killing Moogie because he figures, well, we're not going to rescue her anyway. We may as well put her out of her misery. So this guy's a pretty brutal Ferengi, unlike any before him. So I give him competent command and sec bases, but also very good proficiencies. So, yeah, V rank nice. I plugged in his numbers. He just happened to be Voyage rank 69, a complete coincidence. But it is possible to make 2-skillers useful for both Voyages and Gauntlet and a ton of traits. They just haven't done that yet. And I think Lek was a perfect example to do that because if you watch the episode, he really does personify all these traits. So he's only like 5% better than Kalis in Command Sec on Gauntlet, but because he loses that flexibility of having a 3rd skill, I think is justified. I really wish they would do more with 2-skillers in the game because they've kind of abandoned that and figured, well, if they're going to be 2-skillers, they're crap, but you don't need to do that. You can make them useful, and I think Lek is a good example of that.
I think what they've been doing is sort of like giving them a little bit of Gauntlet utility. I think Regency Riker was the last 2-skiller to come out in the gold sort of space, and he's got some, he's got his Gauntlet usage in sort of quite impressive numbers at some points. So yeah, I think that's
by the way, these the stats on screen are unboosted. So if you have, like Idle mentioned earlier, 30% dip, if you have applied 25% proficiency, these are going to get to be pretty beefy rolls. But like I said, they're not exactly out of reach for the current game. They're slightly better than Kalis on Gauntlet. He sort of fits into the mold on Voyages. So there's definitely room to maneuver if they ever decided to make competent 2-skillers that we could use in game.
Problem is there's a Thai restaurant near me called Lek Thai, and this is just making me hungry.
all I wanted to say was it's one of the great episodes for me for DS9. It's where it was fit in the series. Obviously, there was lots thematically going on, so it's very much sort of a standalone episode. There's some there's some hilarious parts in there. All the Ferengi characters in there are great. Even Blamin Rom seems good. And as someone has pointed out in chat, it's the episode that we get Yelgren by Iggy Pop. And the one where it's Kevin as well, where they've got him on the remote control. Is that
remote? Dude, if we ever get remote control Kevin, he's probably going to be like a powerful 5-star. And they're going to be like, what the hell are you guys doing?
So, to me,
Yeah,
it's one of those episodes that you can watch when you sort of don't want to think too heavy. You just say, I just want to relax and just sit and watch that and just cloy yourself with a cold drink and a snacks.
So, considering the fact that we all look identical on the screen right now, are you guys also a fan of The Expendables, that series that Stallone created with his buddies, where they're like these all like broken down action movie stars, but they all go out together and have to save the world? That's basically what they're doing with the Magnificent Ferengi. It's like all these cast off Ferengis that no one cares about. They join together and make the super team to go rescue Quark's mom.
I love the Ferengi episodes. I don't see how anyone can hate them. They're so good.
Yeah.
Oh,
not all. But
you mean you don't appreciate Lomba? We need Lomba.
But I mean, more to Otto's point, it's they've shown, WRG has shown that at least with the one skill crew, reintroducing the idea of one skill crew, that they are willing to kind of break the mold and reimagine these crews. And so, I mean, I think that kind of creativity could still extend back to two skill crew, because there are times when a two skill crew is appropriate, even for legendary crew. So if you do it in a way like this has been done here, it would be something that is appealing to players and wouldn't just be something that's like, oh, it's a skillet, I'm a pass. Just take a little bit of extra time, take some notes on this one, and just put a little bit of extra effort into a two-skilled crew, and they can still be something that's worth investing in.
Yes, I tried to put a little, this crew took me the longest out of the four. He doesn't have an overpowered base. It's like 1250 without a bonus. Like, they print those every day. Look at Dahj, who's like 1350. His single proficiencies are not out of line. He's not number one in any area, but you can put these components together and create an actual usable crew. And I feel like that's what's been missing a lot lately, especially as we kind of whine about the Command IPSec flood. They're like copy pasting this crew, and it does not take that long. It takes you 20, 30 minutes to sit down and think, okay, how can we make this crew? How can we try to sell packs to the players? Well, you can do something like this. I think Namer said early in chat, I would buy packs for a skillet, two-skill crew, if they were actually usable like this. So I know we're kind of... What are we in the third hour? Pardon my euphemism. We're kind of pissing into the wind at this point, trying to expect them to elevate their game. But if they were, to break...
Hoda and Kathy Lee will be on in a second to, make them play.
Hoda and Kathy. If they were to break the mold like this, I think players would perk up at the effort they're putting in. So even though it is kind of a minor character, I think the traits fit. I think the skill set fits, and he's a pretty useful two-skiller.
Moving on. Final one for today, before we end the show. Oh, Homesteader Chakotay. Who would have thought it?
Keep in mind, these are all choices of Walt Koenig. These are not my choices.
Of course they are.
I know how to get my crew on. I know how to get my crew on for this show.
He knows the secret grease.
Worf and Chakotay's, yeah.
That being said, actually wouldn't mind this card.
So this is another gauntlet-focused crew. Wrong image for this. What would you pick? Oh, him massaging Janeway's shoulder. So
that's the fusion crew, that is.
Yeah. So this is... Look, I'm not a big fan of like shipping... I don't even like using the term shipping relationship crew. No, I'm really not. But in the when it comes to Chakotay and Janeway, I'm down for that. So... I think this is called Resolutions, season 3-ish of Voyager. It's worth a watch if you haven't seen it. It's sort of a ship in a bottle episode where Janeway and Chakotay beam down to the planet. They have some kind of virus. They don't want to infect the rest of the ship, so they have to try to... Okay, thank you. They have to try to solve this virus on their own. So you have Homesteader Janeway, who was a giveaway crew 2 years ago, 2020. And she tried to, diagnose this virus on her own. Chakotay was there by her side, and Voyager continued on its journey home. So we have sort of these two crew on a stage play working off each other. And I mean, if we're going to get Homesteader Janeway, you got to get Homesteader Chakotay. This guy builds her a bath. I like to call it a hot tub colloquially. He's about to build her a boat at the end of the episode before Tuvok comes back and beams him up. So that's why I gave him the Eng primary. He does a lot of building and planning in this episode. Diplomacy, because he basically counsels her through this. Janeway has been stripped of her power as captain. She's got to learn how to deal with life outside of Voyager, and sort of giving up, like, we're not going to solve this virus. We have to build a life for ourselves. So you could throw in romantic in there. He has a lot of traits because he really is sort of a Swiss Army knife in this episode. He takes care of her. He builds her things, helps her in her studies. So I modeled this crew after a good Gauntleteer, because you're not going to... Chakotay is filled with a lot of Command Ib suck variants, and I'd like to give him something a little better than that before the game ends. So he's a good Voyager, he's a good Gauntleteer, which is the two areas that I care about. The art and his little... What is it? The little cottage thing with the big ass belt and the white shirt.
Yeah, that
I think
belt
would
is
be
a choice,
nice.
isn't it? That's you're stuck in the middle of nowhere and you're going to make a fashion statement. That's
Why has he not got Starfleet? Why has he not got Starfleet?
They're out, aren't they?
Yeah. So basically, I gave him. Hold on. All right, Idle. I'm going to send you this image.
Oh, here we go.
Oh no!
Running guest gets Starfleet.
I'm gonna need you to. I'm gonna need you to put that up on screen. So basically, they didn't exactly resign from Starfleet, but they're alone on the surface, and I switched from Starfleet to civilian because they are living a civilian life. They're no longer in contact with the ship, and they have to make their own way. So, I mean, you can quibble about that, but even though they haven't officially resigned from Starfleet, they're kind of on their own. So I went with civilian instead of Starfleet. So, Walt, tell me about this crew, because it's probably my most requested crew ever. Because, you know, I love Chakotay. So why did you pick him?
I mean, absolutely. As we say, you know, we've got Homesteader Janeway. Used to use her for quite a spell on voyages. Not so much anymore. Janeway's got plenty of good variants. As we know, you know, we don't need to tell anyone here. He doesn't get much in the way of any good variants on here. So having a decent Chakotay Voyager, something different from one of the episodes. And look at the rest of your traits.
I mean, if you want, I can justify everyone. I can go down the list and justify everyone.
Do you know what?
I don't really mind the rest of them. You know, so the only one I'll say, just the fact they didn't get Starfleet, is just the only one that stuck up. Everything else from my memory of the episode seems about right. You know, definitely romantic. You know, he's doing all that stuff for her.
If he doesn't have Starfleet, he shouldn't have Marquis either. I would say. I say either has Starfleet and Marquis or neither of them.
I think they've given kind of all of his variants Marquis, because that's sort of core to who he is. Even though he's been pressed into service on Voyager, he's still sympathetic to their cause. But I mean you could, well, you could quibble. You can quibble with all those kind of traits.
Okay. Glorious. That's all I can say.
Keep in mind, this is not my choice. This is Walt Koenig's choice, and that's how you buy a spot on this show, ladies and gentlemen.
Learn, everyone. This is how you do it.
Yeah, bribe your way in. We'll wrap up here now. Everywhere. Thank you very much, Walt, for joining us this week. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you, and thanks for bringing something to show and tell as well. It's been fantastic.
Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure. Next week, we will have Boota on as our guest from the Suncoast Fleet, so we'll look forward to it. It's a guest extravaganza. We will have them on to come and chat to us about their roster and things that are happening in the game. We'll also be talking about the Caregiver Mega in a bit more detail. Hopefully, we will know who is the recurring. What have I written in here? I've written recitals for some reason. Oh, yes. For everyone that is currently hoarding hair flips for recitals, keep an eye out, because we'll probably have a dedicated probably maybe next week or week after, we'll have a dedicated stream where we will redeem, yes, you as well, Walt, we'll redeem some of these recitals and do our acting spots.
We also added side advice, so we're not doing a dedicated thing on the Discord, but if you guys side advice, you can even try to schedule coming on the show, talking about your roster, and we can break down the crew that way as well. So especially after a portal update and honor sale, it might be a good time to do that.
Absolutely. And also this Saturday we will have a Star Trek Adventure session. Hopefully, we're just working out a few things, but we should hopefully have a Star Trek Adventure session concluding what we started many months ago. But we had, if you need to catch up, go onto the YouTube. Episodes 1 and 2 are up there of Stars' Enterprise campaign. It's been absolutely fun, and we're really looking forward to continuing in it. But before we go, any last words, Walt Otto? Big, any final conclusions to this week's adventure?
No, just I've enjoyed my time here. Maybe back one day if you'll have me again.
Oh, absolutely.
Walt, you are the kind of viewer, user, player that keeps us going. You've been such a treat on the Discord. You're so nice to everyone. Yeah. You're so knowledgeable. Thank you for coming on the show. You made this episode better.
Absolutely, and thank you for Rachel.
Yeah.
Welcome again.
A word of advice to anybody that is thinking about coming on this show or any show: if you sit down with, a mostly full bottle of whiskey before you even start the show, that's a mistake.
I noticed you'd been quiet for a bit.
Yeah, it's down to like half of a bottle of whiskey now, and I'm gonna have to go lie down as soon as this is over, and so. That's a free advice for anybody. Take that as you will. That's all I got.
It's bad enough, right? Because now I'm doing dry January. I've got friends who, I'm in a little sort of WhatsApp group with a couple of friends. We share each other's beers and things like that. And they keep saying to me, "Hi, you're doing dry January. Here's this nice beer. Here's this nice beer." And then you guys racking them up, and I was like, 12 more days, 12 more days. Not that I'm counting. But anyway, thank you everyone for watching.
Look, this is what we've always said. If we didn't have anyone watching, we'd still do it for the 3, 4, 5 of us, because. We love each other, and we love talking about Star Trek, and we love nonsense.
I need to get these two off to bed. So, guys, thank you very much for coming. We will see you next week. Ta-ra.